Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Hey, Therese.
Hey.
Hey, Amy. Hey, Anne. Hey, Neil.
Hello.
Hello. Hello,
It's
chat.
another Monday.
It's come round quick this time.
Mm-hmm.
It has. Last week went by fast. I'm Liz from Liz Clothier Designs and here with Therese, who's
Hey.
here every week with me, no matter what.
Mhm.
And we're joined by Amy and Anne and Neil, who you all probably know from their various podcasts and the different challenges and magazines that they run. So welcome, everybody. Joe's not here because of her schedule, and some of our other friends couldn't make it today. So the small group today.
It's just Neil who runs the magazine. No stolen valor from us.
I was just going to say.
Well, no,
how
but
many
I said
magazines
I said podcasts and magazines because both are included.
Neil who runs the sweatshop of the magazine.
I was thinking I've got competition. Shit.
Oh, no. Who else has a magazine I don't know about?
Who else of us has time? I mean, really.
But I have a
Amy,
article I
you-
need to write.
I was going to say Amy's obviously feeling it if she feels like she's in a sweatshop.
I'm like, oh crap! How many days do I have left?
Well, that's how I feel every time. Every
Hey, hey, I got you my pattern before it was due
You did.
last time.
did. Does that mean you're not going to do next time?
Well, I don't have one coming out in the next issue. Maybe the issue
Oh.
after.
Oh. You're
Well, do you
fired.
want me to test knit your stuff, or do you want me to come out with a pattern? Make up your mind, Neil. I can only do so much, you know. There's challenges and knit alongs like Anne's sweaty sweater challenge, which I'm wearing my finished one. So I actually have a finished object.
I'm
Wow.
so impressed because I
Yeah.
haven't even started.
Thank you. It's
Is
the
it a-
peony. It's the peony T-shirt by Autumn and Indigo, and I probably did a size too big because it blocked out really loosely because I didn't swatch. So
Well, it looks
next
all right
time
as
if I-
it is now, but obviously you'd have to see you.
well, I
Next time
posted it on Instagram. So
For a
it's a
second,
very
I
nice
thought it
knit.
was a ranunculus. Is it similar to?
No, it's it's just a little bit lace at the top. Speaking of a ranunculus, that's actually what I'm working on now. So
You psych.
with a
Very
with a
nice.
fade set from Northwoods Fibers.
Use
I
those
bought the
powers
set.
good.
I bought the set and I couldn't remember what I bought it for, but there was a reason and I can't remember it. So I figured I'd just make a ranunculus with it because the last time we did the ranunculus challenge, I knit 2, but none of them were for me. So
Is that Tina in the comments? Our Tina.
Did she
Our-
show up?
Our Tina.
That's
Hello,
my
Tina.
aw, we love you, Tina. We love you and miss you.
Love you, Smooshy.
You're always welcome. You can pop in if you want to join us sometime.
I sent her the link, but no pressure.
And get
No
back to
pressure.
work, Tina. We need yarn.
I
We-
have yarn. I don't know if I'm allowed to show it, so she'll have to say in the comments before I
Hey,
show it.
Pirate. Hey, Lori. Hey, everybody. Cheryl, Moira, Senko, Elle, Lefty. Got a good bunch of people already in the chat, and it's only 5 after.
I saw Timo was here. I saw his interview with the Ultimate Kahuna about his book.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Welcome, Timo. Timo was the first one in chat. Just
Very
saying.
important.
You can show it. She's aiming to be back soon.
I'll be right back.
Yay!
Okay, if that's the case, then we need to talk because we might want a colorway of our
Ease
own.
her back in gently. let her get back in.
He's
This
like,
I said when she's
like,
ready,
darn
she
dry again, and you're like, okay, so I got a lot of orders. If you could just like fulfill all
no, I'm just putting it out there because she knows how much we love her and her yarn.
these. Mhm.
Mhm.
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, right here on my shelf in pristine condition.
Mhm.
I know.
Yeah, some
He has to
over
get
there.
back to it because I've been hoarding it.
So show it, Ames.
All right, you gonna make me full screen or no?
Go on.
Can you do that?
How do I do that?
Neil, how do we do that?
Oh, here. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, there we go.
Didn't even have to open my mouth.
Pretty.
Oh, it's gonna be reflective.
Ooh, it's so pretty.
That's the sister yarn.
Nice.
Yay!
Yay. It's so pretty. And it's so you and Denise.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to cherish it and love it and hug it and kiss it and
Name it George.
And name it George.
Yeah, George.
So
That's
no
beautiful.
pressure, but we want you to die
No.
again. And if you don't, that's fine. Just
Petting the yarn. Absolutely.
Yes.
I have yarn that you've already sent me that I have for a pattern, but I was waiting until you were ready and back up before I put it out there. Because I didn't want pressure on you. No, because I didn't want people bugging her about getting the yarn if she wasn't ready. So I don't want to put it out there until she's ready. So.
Ooh, you got a delay over the top.
You got a delay or an echo.
Oh.
The podcast's so good, you'll watch it twice.
Okay. How's
Never fails.
No, it's still repeating.
Long delay.
Mm-hmm.
Like Joe's getting us from the beyond. Everybody go out one at a time.
Ooh.
Somebody has
Is it
to
Liz?
play back on.
Sorry, y'all.
Okay, I'm going to mute myself.
All right. Sorry, y'all.
Okay.
Yeah, that's better.
You guys, it's Neil.
It's
No,
Neil.
I don't think it's me.
Okay, I'm back.
It's nobody.
And
No, it's fine now.
Anne's on mute, so it might be Anne.
come back in and let us know.
And
Or she froze in. Can
Yeah,
you hear
frozen
us?
as well.
Sorry.
Come
Sorry.
back, Anne.
Come back in.
From the other side.
I can still
Frozen as well.
hear it echoing around.
mm-hmm.
Does somebody have it playing on their computer? Because Tomsky says somebody has it on playback.
No, but I'll leave and come back.
Okay.
Is it still there?
I'm not hearing it.
Mm-mm.
I turned
Well,
everything off on
do
my
it for a long time.
I turned everything off on my iPad before I started, so there's nothing else playing on mine.
Yeah,
So-
nothing on mine. Oh,
So was
back.
it me?
It is you, I think.
Aw, it is me? Let me try headphones.
Now it.
No,
Wait.
no,
Now it's okay.
I don't hear it.
I don't hear it now. See, Joe's not even here, and we're having technical difficulties. It's just the way it is on this podcast. So
So I'm just going to have to sign the whole thing?
but do fake signs to make it more interesting.
Can sign back in British, but I can't do American.
I can't do British, so you're screwed.
He says, Pirate says the 30-second delay is because StreamYard has a delay before it hits the playback.
Oh.
Okay, I don't know what
Those
that
are
means. Though.
words, but I don't know what those words mean.
Me either.
I bet they mean something.
Probably.
I don't
So-
know what it is. So
Seems
you,
okay
guys.
now. Thank you, Pirate, for trying to help us. You know, must think we're pathetic because we always have some screwed up mess going on.
Well, maybe
Therese,
people
what are-
would buy us a coffee. You know,
Or start a GoFundMe for
where's
us.
our GoFundMe? We need our GoFundMe for our.
That's right. Neil, what are you working on, Neil?
Oh, I'm still doing my Tunisian cherry picking felon.
I love the way he says it. It's so
I know.
fancy the way he says it.
Mm-hmm.
Tunisian
It's so fancy.
instead of Tunisian. How do you say it?
Tunisian.
Tunisian.
Oh, I say Tunisian.
Tunisian.
So I'm getting.
I found the problem. The problem was me, as you could tell by me leaving, but I had hit the stream on my phone. So I'm going through all my tabs. I'm like, there is nothing at all. But I had it before it was on, then put my phone to the side. So my phone was playing it. I'm just like, my computer's not. Sorry, it was my fault. There you go.
Well, it's easily
No worries.
fixed, so that's good. No worries. So Neil's
It's
showing
never
off
me,
his.
by the way.
Neil's showing off his felon shirt.
And you can't
So
be
this
beautiful
is-
and smart. Sorry.
So I'm almost at the point where I can start to do the sleeves.
Oh, for two.
However,
Ooh, I like the pooling.
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah, I've the yarn that I got in 2 separate batches. So one batch is a little bit more red than the other. So I've tried to put all that together at the bottom because I figured red reads as black, doesn't it? So I thought that would look better at the bottom rather than at the top. But the thing that I'm not sure what to do is what to do with the cups, with the base and the cups, because I don't want to do it in Tunisian, or however you say it.
Oh, that sounds pretty now.
So I'm thinking I might do it. I might knit it, but I might do a brioche bit at the bottom and the sleeve. So I don't know what that's going to look like. So I'm going to do a little swatch to check.
Oh.
And also, I don't know what to do with the collar because it kind of looks all right as it is. I don't know. Can you see
Right.
it?
Yeah.
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 It's kind of just looks like a chain, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But on
Uh-huh.
the top, can you see that on the top? That I'm not too keen on.
Oh, yeah.
So just single crochet around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you think that'll work? I just don't want it to end up being tight because it's quite stretchy.
No, do it with a bigger hook than what you're using.
You can do that single crochet chain. That's what I do.
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, like rather than a slip stitch.
Right, like single
Yeah.
crochet chain. Single crochet chain, just it
Ah,
gives a little
yeah. Got you.
wiggle room in between the stitches.
Yes, but I would go up a hook because we
Yeah.
know you crochet tight. So,
I'm already on an 8 and 9 millimeter.
oh, love you, Tina. Hope to see you back soon. Bye.
Yeah, see you
love
soon.
ya.
Bye.
Therese, what are you doing? Since you're probably not making a felon shirt.
No, I'm not making a felon shirt.
So is that yarn, Neil? Is that your cherry picking felon?
It
That's
is.
cherry picking.
Oh, okay.
But you can see I don't know. You can see the
Oh,
two
yeah, I see
the
the difference,
differences.
Yeah.
So, but that's all right. I quite like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I really like working with it, and I'm not bored of Tunisian.
I messed up how you say it now, just like
Yeah,
I messed up Lid's last name. What you making, Therese?
I just screwed something up.
She's deep in thought.
Yeah, I had a tragedy strike.
Oh no.
Well, what?
Yeah. I was doing this crocheted, of course. I forget the name of it. Lana kimono or something. Okay, it's the kind where you just do 2 panels, you sew them together this way, that way, and you have a sweater. So the photo shows it looks like a normal. Well, so I did it. I did 2. I can't even show you the whole thing. 2 panels.
Uh-huh.
And
Yes.
there's another one just like it. And I started it on Monday, and this was on Friday, so I did pretty good. Until I tried to seam it together, and it's like enough for 3 people. So, yeah. And it didn't show it was like that on the picture. It looked normal. So I
So
don't know.
Are the rows are the rows lengthwise? Because can you just pull out some of the rows?
No, you can't. No, it's, yeah, no. I'm just going to
Is there
frog
any
it.
shaping, or is it all?
No.
Is it just 2
No,
rectangles?
you just shape it by seaming it,
So could you not just change the project into a blanket?
Yeah, no, no, it's not that big. No, I'm just gonna frog it. I haven't had the heart to frog it right now. Plus, I want to get out the ball winder and do this. So that's what I did.
Is it acrylic or wool?
Cotton, 90% cotton, 10% acrylic.
I was going to say you could try
It's-
felting it.
It's really nice, but I'll do something else with it. I haven't found another pattern I want. And then today, just for something to do, I whipped up a hat.
Hey.
Oh, cute. Very cute.
That's from it's a pattern from Bag O' Day. And I'm working on another one, but I keep screwing up the count. So.
Been there, done that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. What are you doing, Miss Amy?
Working on a baby blanket for a guy at work because they're having a baby. And he told me, I was like, so are there any colors for the nursery? And he's like, yeah. And I didn't see the picture at first. Now you just get a text and it's just a little snippet. And I was like, he said green and orange. And I was like camo? That's interesting. And then I opened the picture and I was like, oh, okay. No, he means like green
Oh.
and
Okay.
like foresty kind of,
Okay.
wildlife animal things. I was like, oh, that sounds a lot better than what I had pictured in my head. So
No.
Okay.
No.
and look, I got this yarn. It says
Oh, that's
Tina's not
very
ready.
pretty.
Tina needs to dye more. This is that yarn love yarn.
Ooh, pretty. Yeah, mine should be delivered today. I'm waiting for my mail.
Well, I've ordered some, but I'm
So-
going to have to wait probably a long
Yeah, you'll have
time
to wait
for
a little.
mine.
Which I still maintain, people. Never apologize. Never.
Oh,
apologize.
speaking of
Well,
which, have you
She did
seen
need to
that one
apologize
today?
for taking the guy's photo
Yeah.
without permission, but that's that. That's all you need to say. Sorry about that. I did not mean to do that. That was a total accident. The end. Done.
Yep.
That's all you need to
Yeah.
say.
Get over yourself, yeah. Don't cry in a cupboard.
But thanks to that, I found her yarn, and it's beautiful yarn. So
It is very beautiful yarn. And,
I can't even
know,
remember what I ordered now. It wasn't.
I ordered a sock set, I think. I'll make a shawl out of it, probably.
Well, for me,
Yeah, this-
it's almost full price because the buy one get one free is just going to come.
see,
with
I
extras
must have
for
missed the
me.
buy one get one free because this
Oh,
was somehow I missed it because this was kind of pricey. This was like $50. So
Well, did you sign up and then wait for the coupon?
no.
well, there you go.
That's
Oh, well, there you go.
I didn't know that until after I'd purchased the yarn.
And he's
Mm.
What, the hair on my beard, do you mean, Tomsky? Or are you expecting my beard to knit something on its own? What do you mean? Trust me, there's plenty of my beard in this. Anything I knit ends up with my beard in it. And the cat's fur and any fluff that's floating in the
Mhm.
atmosphere. It's all in it.
Project. Yeah, it has hair in it. I'll pull it out. I'm like, sorry. My bad.
Yeah, I'm glad that Yarn Love got some support because some of those people were crazy.
Yeah.
Like, okay, she made a mistake. She admitted it right away. She apologized. I would be a little bit more nicer towards the gentleman had he contacted her privately before he went public.
Right.
So I think the way he went public is what annoyed me the most.
Yeah.
Because-
and a lot of people then started to see it that way. A lot of people were like, he's being a little dramatic for what happened.
Right.
Well, he
Yeah,
ended
I
up
mean-
being guilty for being a man, didn't he, on Crafts Night? They turned on him for being a man. Is that there's, if there's one thing they hate more than a white woman, it's a man. Even if it's a man of color.
No matter what color they are.
Well, quite frankly, he should have been, thinking a positive thing, saying, wow, this many more people seen my work than,
Mhm.
so I
Yeah,
wonder
exactly.
how can I play it to get followers?
Like I've seen people
Not-
post Birdie Rose's art, and I'm like, hey, this is by the famous artist Birdie Rose, and I'll tag her, and then the people that have done it have been like, oh, my bad, because they didn't know who did it. They just found it
Because
from
that's what
something else.
normal people do.
Right. So they were
Yes.
like, my bad. So, so they tag her and, and Birdie
Well-
answered. She's like, hey, yeah, that's me. If you don't mind tagging me and give my credit, that's fine,
Yeah.
But, and that's actual art, which no offense to
Yeah.
us non-artists.
Well, one comment I saw, because several of the comments were saying
Right.
they couldn't believe that she, put it in the wrong folder, and someone on Craftsnark said that they were a digital forensics, and said that they guaranteed if they went on everybody's computer, they could find
Oh.
things put in the wrong folders because everybody does it.
Yeah.
So, so Anne is frozen again.
I've done it today. I've done a pattern for
I
issue
kind of like that
15.
Frozen Anne.
and I
That's
don't
like
know
a
where it
perfect
is.
picture right there. Somebody needs to screenshot that because that's Anne to a T.
That's Judgy Anne. I'm judging your Craftsnark.
Yeah.
Apologies.
That is a meme right there. Someone screenshot that in the chat.
Yeah, get that meme.
Yeah, someone
We'll make her
screenshot and
famous.
send it to Amy.
She'll go viral.
I'll meme the hell out of that. Let me see if I can get it.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh, she heard you.
Judgmental. Judge. Oh, Chomsky got it. Judgmental
okay.
Anne,
Oh, man.
as he's calling it. But yeah, hopefully she'll be back and moving. So
Yeah,
yeah,
moving's always good.
is it me or did everyone think that yeah, Anne is unimpressed with her internet connection? That the week went by fast.
Life has gone by fast. I just, I mean,
Yeah.
It's the end of May.
On here.
It's the end of May already. Yeah, we've already hit our 100 degrees. So,
When was the last time I was on? Because I was like, okay, I'm busy. Like, I got graduations and wedding showers and holy days, and I got sick. And then I'm like, it's May. Like, what?
Yeah,
I mean,
it
you
was
were
a
on
while.
for Who Done It.
Yeah.
And I know
Yeah,
you've
but
been
it
on
was
every
after
once in a
that.
You've been on a couple times after that, but
I've been on since then.
a few times, but not as,
Let me
you've been
think, what
busy.
were you cooking? You can figure out what day it was, what you were cooking.
I know, right?
I don't remember.
Yeah. Yeah. So how's all your cats? Oh, Anne's going to see if her computer can stream this before jumping back on.
Okay.
So Neil, are your cats all healthy now?
Yeah, they're all good. Yeah. No problems there. Touch wood.
That's good. So when's your next issue due? Like submissions for the next issue?
The deadline is June 15, and oh no, hang on, wait, that can't be right.
I hope not. No, I think that's what you told me. I thought you
No,
told me.
it is June 15, and then the
Okay.
issue's coming out on hopefully the 1st of July.
Yeah.
When's
Because I don't know if I'm going to make my field trip in time. Because that only leaves me, 3 weekends? I think.
She might have to go to the dangerous part of town. You should be thanking her.
I know.
'Cause I know-
I live in
I
the
know.
dangerous part of my town.
Yeah, I saw there was some Manchester crime the other.
Oh, we've had murders, we've had a massive fire over the road, we've had all sorts going on
That's
recently.
like every day in New Orleans, so I don't want to hear it.
I
Well,
was going to
to be
say,
fair, Vegas has its crime too. And, we get a lot more celebrity crime though, because all the sports people and celebrities come here and do stuff.
backed up.
Yeah.
Oh, we've had a BBC presenter. We've had a BBC presenter arrested this week for old offences with children.
Oh.
Which one was this?
Oh my.
We don't know who it is yet. There's lots of rumours, but we don't know who it is.
Mm.
Wait. Why don't you know yet?
Why don't we know? Well, they won't release his name yet. It'll
seems
come
like
out
the
eventually.
safety of children, we should release that information.
Yeah, he's been bailed and he's out as well. He's on the streets,
What?
but he works for the BBC, so
Let me tell you how bass backwards it is around here. They've had a shockingly large amount of school professionals
Yeah, BBC.
doing what Pirate
We-
just said.
Yes,
With-
we've had a lot too.
Mm.
So there was a guy earlier this year at my kid's school. He was basketball coach, baseball coach, something like that. So he got busted, and I say not in his defense, but in his defense, he was like 20 and they were like 16. Nothing that's right. I'm just saying,
No, but that's
Because
that's
no matter
different.
how old
Yeah.
they are, there is
That's less egregious than some of them when they're. No, it's not okay, but it's.
Right. It's
But
more
there is a
understandable.
law- There is a
Yeah.
law in our state that anybody of any age in a position of education cannot
Oh,
do
that's
that.
true.
Period.
Right.
Whether that's a
Yeah.
19-year-old senior and you're 20, no, you can't do it.
Yeah, that's the same here.
So anyway, so this guy is still in jail for his offenses. Meanwhile, a female high school teacher has been found with multiple text messages and other things and accusations and buying the kids alcohol and drugs and this and that. And she got out within like the day because her daddy works for the city.
Yeah, see, I don't like the fact that women get less punishment than men because to me it's almost worse.
And And not that makes his right, but she was in her 30s and these kids were like 15, 16.
Well, I mean,
Allegedly.
I don't like the fact that they're so, well, I watched a thing about this on Law and Crime about it and why there's so many women showing up. And he said the reason is social media. He said because the women form emotional relationships with these boys, and it never occurs to them they can be caught. So they bring them into their world and they make them part of their social media. They send messages, whereas the men, they're not looking for a relationship in most cases.
Right.
So there's no, they're smarter not to keep messages and things like that. But the punishment should be the same regardless. Go to jail forever.
We've just had a really weird case where a female teacher has just gone to prison for having sex.
I saw her, yeah.
But what's bizarre about it is that she got caught once before, and she was currently, I don't know if she was on bail or she was waiting to be convicted of the previous one. So in the meantime, she went and got another one.
And didn't she get pregnant by one of them?
Oh, she did. Yes, that's right. Yeah, she did. I forgot that.
I mean, think about how these poor boys' lives are screwed up as enough,
right.
and then the mom, and then the teacher's pregnant, and then just
right. And as a mom of teens, I don't get it. I'm just gonna say.
No, we had
that. Yeah.
Notoriously, as all of human history, generally speaking, men, older, younger women has been just kind of a normal thing because of the way that we develop and the way our brains develop. And let's be real, y'all are all 12-year-old boys inside. So, but some of these kids, like, they still look like babies. Like,
what did you see the one the other day where the boy was 11?
Oh,
11.
Oh,
it's like who? Yeah, she was engaged to be married in a couple months. Of course, her fiance's dumped her. Because can you imagine him finding out that she was messing with 11 and 12-year-old boy? Like, it is disgusting. And the punishment should be long.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not justifying any of this, but one thing we have here, which could be, I know it's not the answer, but it could be the reason why it's happening, is that we have migrants, adult migrants, 30 and 40, pretending to be 12, 13-year-old kids. So don't know whether that could be part of it, but probably not.
I don't know. It is crazy. And
you're in a position of authority, period. It shouldn't, even if you're teaching college, that's not okay, even though you're all adults.
There were teachers in
our rules were anybody under 18 and anybody classed as vulnerable. So, which was most of the adult students, to be fair. So and they just frowned on it in general. So even if it was someone of your own age, because I used to teach adults as well as teenagers.
Right.
So even if it was somebody who was my age, it'd probably be okay as long as that person didn't have any learning disabilities or anything like that.
Well,
but even still, it's not professional.
There were teachers at my daughter's school when she was in high school who got caught. One got caught, and then the rest of the theater department teachers all resigned. And it's because either they were part of it or they didn't want to they covered it up. So they all resigned before the school did a deep dive investigation. But we've had a lot of it here. And some of them are teachers who should not, because we've had such a teacher shortage, they're getting people in to be teachers. And I don't think they're doing all the testing and all the background checks and everything else they should be doing, because they're just trying to get people in the classroom.
Right.
Yeah, Tomsky, even if you teach adults, you shouldn't be doing it because it's a power thing.
It's a position of power.
Yeah.
Authority.
But these women, it's like, I'm sure a lot of these boys don't have good relationships with their moms. Right. And these women are using that to
disturbing.
It is.
Speaking of disturbing.
How have we got onto this subject?
So, I watched the Ashley Madison Netflix documentary.
Oh my goodness.
It's only 3 episodes, but I was like, first of all, I know y'all not trying to spin this like, oh, poor me, I got my information shared. You were on a cheating website.
I know. I have no sympathy for them.
No.
Oh, is that the thingy site where you go and have a bit on the side?
Yeah. That was the website for, life is short, have an affair. So they had the data breach in 2015 or whatever, and then You know, so all these people's name, Hunter Biden, and all these people were on it. And
Shocking.
yeah, shocking. And you know, and one of them was a sad case. Actually, was a lady here in New Orleans, and he was, and I kind of remember when it happened. Actually, as I was watching it, he was a teacher at the seminary, the New Orleans seminary, and she was a teacher there too, and he was on it, and he killed himself after it got found out because you know they said, look, this is a seminary, you have to leave. You know, you can't teach anymore. It's, you know. It's religious school. You can't, you know, be teaching people how to be pastors when you're on the Ashley Madison list. And he killed himself. So that does suck. I don't care. I've never heard of it. But
Well, that's how I met you three. Come on, let's be honest.
Can I just say,
mostly trying to make you feel bad for the dudes. And I was like,
hell
really?
no.
No, I felt bad for the women who, you know, y'all screwed around on.
Can I just say that saying a bit on the side sounds a lot better than saying somebody cheating?
Is that what I said?
That's what you said. They have a bit on the side.
No, that's how I asked for like ranch dressing. Just a little bit on the side, you know.
Right.
And then a man shows up. No.
Ranch dressing.
Not a ranch hand.
No. Boy. There is
Weird.
supposed to be a documentary coming out on, I think, Netflix about reading Rainbow. So I'm very excited about that.
Doing what, Rainbow?
Reading Rainbow. Remember
Reading Rainbow?
What was LeVar up to?
Reading Rainbow?
No. It's just like the making of Reading Rainbow and how it all came to be.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, it's fine. Don't tarnish LeVar.
Well, just usually these days when there's a documentary, it's not a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's like Butterfly in the Sky, how Reading Rainbow came to be or something. Like, did y'all not have Reading Rainbow, Neil?
Tomsky, did we have Reading Rainbow?
Okay,
We had
Jordy
the show
from
Rainbow
Star
with
Trek,
Zippy
Next
and George.
Jordy from Star Trek Next Generation was on a kid's show for all of us growing up.
Ah,
And it was about reading books.
Yeah.
So it
was to encourage reading.
It was basically just him reading the book and the pages turned and, you know.
Yeah, and now he wants kids to all read LGBT books and have drag. Yeah, so I
still love him.
I think kids should be able to read what's appropriate for their age level.
Agreed.
And certain books, not having them in a school library is not banning them. It's just saying this is not the appropriate place. What you can have them in the county, city, whatever library, but they do not need to be in a school library. That's not banning books. That's just limiting their location for age appropriateness.
And I'll argue for them to not limit them in school libraries a little bit more when they stop segregating books by Lexile score, because we've spent the last 40 years telling kids you can't read that book because that's not your Lexile score, because that's above your age. If my kid can read Harry Potter, he can read Harry Potter. So
I don't think I ever read if anyone told me I couldn't read a book because of that was more likely to make me want to read that book.
For years, all of my kids have been in school, they've sorted them by their Lexile score. And if you can't read at this score, you can only read these books in this range, because that's how you're. And what's stupid is
I never had that.
Is not even based on understanding. It's just the words. Can they read the words? It's not even based on.
No, I didn't have that.
Yeah, my kids had that.
So if you won't let kids check out books based on Lexile score, then you can most certainly not let them check out books that have graphic sexual images in them.
Well, it amazes me because when parents try to read these books at school board meetings, they say they're inappropriate. Right. So you can't read them to adults, but you're supposed to let your children read them.
Right.
Like if you're a high school junior or senior, I really don't care what you read, because you're old enough and you should be old enough to have critical thinking skills to make your own choices. But that's younger than that, you don't. That's different than elementary school kids.
Right. Right. Like there's a graphic novel that is extremely graphic. You know what? I don't want my high schooler reading it, but if it's in a public library for high schoolers, fine. But it is nudity. My 8-year-old doesn't need to be reading it.
Well, and to be fair, kids can get access to anything they want with the internet. So,
That is true.
So
I do
I'm
argue
not-
that because school libraries and public libraries are two different entities to me, and that's what people get hung up on. And I'm like, look, public libraries, every man for himself. That is a public library. You as the parent should have the responsibility to go in there and know what your kids are picking out. School, I drop my kid off at the school. I am trusting you to make sure that the library that they're accessing is not going to have pornographic material in it, because I have to sign a piece of paper that says they can go on the internet and they won't access it.
Yeah.
But if you're going to say that they can have pornographic books, no, that's not okay.
Nope.
So no, but public libraries are a different ballgame, because most libraries have a rating system and they have a little thing that the parents have to take them to go get the card and, say, yes, my kid can check out this XYZ, But school is different. It's not the same pot of money. It's not the same organization. It's different.
Now, see, I think like what Danielle's talking about, you have to pass a test in order to read above your grade level. Well, how are you ever going to learn?
I was just
reading
thinking,
above your grade level is going to teach you new words. You're going to learn more.
Correct.
you just had a dictionary by your side when you were reading. That's what I used to do, and anything
Well,
I did was get the dictionary out.
Yeah, that was my mom, because anytime we asked her anything, what does the word mean or how do you spell it? Look it up. She would never give definitions of anything. And it was good because, I was the same with my kids. Of course, it's easier for them to just go online and look it up than me having to get out the big dictionary or the encyclopedia. They laugh at me because we had Encyclopedia Britannica.
Yep.
I'm like, this was my internet.
I know.
That's the internet. Yep.
I still
I
have
used to do that.
dictionary this big. I still have the
giant
Me too.
dictionary.
Yeah.
What's that?
I used to make my students look it up as well, and they used to say things. You probably won't get this, but you say, "Oh, that's just so long, man, so long."
Yeah, well, try to make them read a map.
Yeah.
My kids can, because they love geography, so they can read.
Well, yeah, my kids learned in Gifted and Talented, but they didn't teach the regular class kids. So I read so many books that were above my grade level.
Meanwhile,
because I read everything I could get my hands on.
Me too. That's how I was. But meanwhile, I told they can probably identify every country in Africa. But I told them 10-4 the other day, and they didn't know what I meant.
Wow, that's just a generational thing.
I know, but it hurt really deep.
So then you pull out the old emergency in Adam 12 and make
right
like we do. Yeah, I mean, I read Lord of the Rings when I was 9. My mom got it for me for Christmas that year, and that was like my first really serious reading.
Right.
And then I read anything I can get my hands on. I don't think reading Dune at 11.
I think that's one.
I didn't get everything in Dune at 11.
No,
I'm just going to say.
I'm going to show you what I learned.
I was reading Flowers in the Attic and Valley of the Dolls.
I read those too. Mm-hmm.
Flowers in the Attic.
Yeah, I mean, anything I could get my hands on, I read.
What was
I was
that,
reading,
Neil, you were saying about a book?
Well, when I was at school, I was part of a what do they call it? An experiment, and the kids didn't know they were in the experiment. So I learned to read using ITA. I don't know if you've ever heard of it or not. I'm going to send you what it looks like, and it looks like a completely different language. And when we moved from a place called Bury to Salford. And it was like I was not speaking, but writing and reading a completely different language. And I had to relearn from scratch. And when you see it, you'll be like, holy cow. If I can find some examples.
Did they abandon the experiment or did it work?
Yeah, well, I think I was lucky. It was supposed to help people learn to spell quicker. And then they abandoned it because it obviously didn't. But I think I was lucky that I mustn't have done it long enough for it to have damaged my ability to read.
Just saying.
My cousin who did it, he can barely read and write now, and I think that's because we were in the same school year at the beginning of it.
Phonics was better than sight words. I'm just putting it out there.
It's very much better, but they refuse to teach phonics now. Still.
Yep.
I taught my kid. I taught Eli phonics because I homeschooled him kindergarten through 3rd, but Harrison had already gone through school, so he still to this day cannot sound out words. I tried, but it's like
Yeah,
once you
it's
got to a
crazy.
certain age, you can't, it's like you can't teach phonics once they've learned sight words. So parents, teach phonics.
Yep. And teach them cursive.
Oh yeah.
Because my daughter can
That's how we're gonna beat the robots.
Mm-hmm.
rotary phones, manual cars, and cursive
and maps. That's how we're gonna
and maps. Yeah.
How can I send this to you?
Can you put it in the chat?
It's a picture though. I can't put a picture in the chat, can I? Can I do present?
Just
Yeah, I can I? Hold on, give me a second. Share screen. Which screen?
Close all your inappropriate tabs.
Yeah,
shit.
don't be sharing too much.
yeah. This is a fairly clean program. Okay.
I don't know if y'all remember.
Fairly. I like the way you say fairly.
And like early on in COVID.
Good
I
Lord.
got flagged because I had a coronavirus thing on my tab. I took a picture of something and it like flagged me because I had a coronavirus thing on the thing. What the frick is that?
Okay, I can
What?
still read it. So it just says initial teaching alphabet.
I got the teaching alphabet, but I didn't
Teaching
get
the alphabet. I didn't get the initial.
Why?
That's-
Sure. Teach.
So I need to find a full page of it because it does look like it's something out of,
But
That's
why?
insane.
And then don't
Well,
you
so
have
that's
problems
what I
spelling
learned.
the words?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be phonetic. So, and it
Oh.
used a lot of the,
So is that
the
supposed to be an
symbols.
S?
In,
Is
Yeah.
that
Yeah, that's like old. Yeah.
The old fashioned. That's how the old fashioned
Mhm.
S is, isn't it?
teaching alphabet? Okay.
That's
probably
bizarre.
how my dad would have spelled it.
Now, when my kids were in very early elementary school, they were pulling out reading your way and math your way, and it's the reading is phonetic, and I would go down the halls and see the kids work on the halls, and everything was spelled like tree was spelled TRE, and they get a gold star, and it's like, well, they spelled it the way it sounds. I'm like, but that doesn't mean it's right. Of course, this was in Vermont too, so
Well, I remember
They
getting
started
told
early.
off by the new teacher that I had because we had to write a sentence which was about our eyes. Like you had to write your eyes, your nose, and all that. And
Right.
obviously, in my way of doing it, it was just the eye with a dot on the top.
Yeah.
And she went mad at me because she just thought I was so stupid. And it's like, I just couldn't get it. I just couldn't understand it.
Well, you got to figure there's some kids who don't get it, and there's some kids who just can't be bothered. So they're going to take the easiest way out.
Right.
Oh, Tomsky sent you something on Telegram, Neil.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Lefty, that's a good rule. My parents didn't make me do
yes.
that.
He's found it. So if I've got something else to share. So if I stop the screen.
I'm with you. The Hobbit failed that test too for me. Sorry. Still to this day, couldn't finish it.
And it's not letting me add you. It's doing the same thing that it was doing to Joe the other day. Are you trying to stream to your channel? Because that's what Anne's problem. That's what Joe's problem was. She was trying to stream to her own YouTube. And
she's bootlegging her own podcast.
Go on, try and read that one.
can't even. Yeah,
You make it bigger.
I don't know how to make it bigger.
Do I make it bigger?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. The life
of a fisherman is a hard one. He spends most of his time at sea in all kinds of weather.
He wears
special clothes
to keep him
warm and dry. When it is wet and
stormy, the fisherman wears an oilskin Macintosh.
Uh-huh.
Oilskin is spelt normally.
His hat is
made of oilskin too. Made of oilskin too.
Made of oil,
and they call it a sou'wester. Sou'wester. Yeah, it's like a nor'easter, a sou'easter, I guess.
I could. That's like that
read it.
Where they put the first letter and the last letter, and they put jibber jabber in
between.
Yeah,
you can still read it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's
So is that the thing?
But how are you supposed to?
Yeah.
How are you supposed to translate that to real writing? though?
Yeah.
Well,
If you
that's
got used
what
to that.
I never got to that bit of it because we left that school. So I just got, a hard cut off and then back into the normal. So I had to learn reading again. So I was in whatever it was, the third or fourth year of elementary school.
You were remedial.
And I had to go right back to the first year. But what was really funny, within about 2 years, I was ahead of them.
Yeah. So
and I don't know whether it was this.
Pirate, did you have to learn to read like that?
Well, I just don't understand. What's the point of teaching you like that, and then you have to translate that over to real writing?
Well,
I mean, I
see it if you know
I
what
can,
the
but
symbols mean. If you know when you're writing, that's how you pronounce it, but then you still have to learn the correct letters.
Spelling.
Right?
Well, yeah.
What is it?
I'm not putting that on the screen. Not putting that on the screen. Yeah, I mean, how do you must have had so much misspelling using that.
Yeah.
It's like you have to learn it twice.
Twice. Yeah.
Like I said, my cousin who did it with me at the same time, he cannot spell, he can't read, he doesn't read, he can't spell, and I think it ruined him for life.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could
It's
see
either the kind of government intervention that C.S. Lewis balked at, or they're trying to reinstate Chaucer. Yeah, it could be. I don't know.
But I think it gave me a lifelong fascination with codes.
Yeah.
I love symbols.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
And that's why I like the crochet code. It's not code, but you know what I mean, the symbols.
Yeah.
And I love it, sort of secret languages and shorthand and things like that. I find fascinating.
See, I'm one of those people, I can read really, really fast. Like those tests that they for the words, I can read super fast, but my writing is off. Not my actual words that come out, but my handwriting is terrible.
Oh yeah, my
I've
handwriting
lost
is horrendous.
I've lost mine because of you never use it.
Right,
Yeah,
but
mine is
I do it
awful.
every day, and it still sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, my kids, my kids, all they do, they type everything. Like even since from high school on, everything that they do was typed. They have, they weren't handwriting anything anymore.
Mm.
Except John had one college student college professor who made them handwrite an essay. But
what I think
he was old school.
He's done as well with not handwriting enough. I think it's made youngsters scared to make a mistake, and they're obsessed with they'll be writing something like a story or an essay or whatever, and rather than just carrying on and then looking at the mistakes after, they stop what they're doing. They stop the train of thought, correct whatever it is they've done wrong, and then they lose that creativity.
I can see that. Yeah.
Whereas in our day, we had to make the mistake of just crossing out.
I know from my oldest, he just had to do. I made him do his thank you notes for his graduation presents, which was oh my god. And I was like, dude, you don't have to write a paragraph. You just thank you for your gift, thank you for coming to my party. And I'm like, the trick is you write it big. You write it big. You word letters so that it feels like a card more. He physically cannot write big. He cannot make his brain do it. So his handwriting is tiny.
Well, and they say to really remember something, if you handwrite it out, you remember it better.
Yeah. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
that is true.
I don't know.
That's very true.
I mean, we have all these apps on our phones that are note taking and write. I mean, you could write a novel on your phone, and I still want paper.
Hey, Therese, do you remember? You're never going to have a calculator with you, so you need to learn to do this math.
I have one on my wrist all the time.
Yeah.
The amount of times I was told that by the students.
I bought because I don't like handwriting, but I prefer for church especially. I handwrite my notes because our church is boring. We take notes. There's no woo, but I bought the Kindle. No offense to the woo people, but that's just not what we do.
I know. I just love that, Amy. Though.
But I admit I bought the Kindle Scribe.
I was looking at that.
It's expensive, but it was really cool. And it makes my handwriting look pretty because you can do it in fountain pen. So apparently my handwriting is prettier in fountain pen. So
I was looking at it.
The screen, but
it'll be on sale before
Christmas.
Yeah,
get it on Prime
I'll
Day.
put it on my
It is
Christmas
pretty
birthday
cool
list.
because it's a Kindle and a notebook at the same time. And if you're if you're artist, you can draw on it and all that kind of stuff. I'm not artistic, so I just write notes on it. But it is pretty cool because I was like, you know what? Because I was looking, I would write in my notebook, and I'm like, God, I can't even read my own doggone handwriting. I have no idea what I just said.
I have so many notebooks all over the place. I have probably 20 notebooks in the living room, and I don't know how many in here. Just everywhere. There's notes and sticky notes and tablets. I mean, just everywhere.
Yep.
But I still love paper. I still love handling it, you know.
At work, if there's a task, it goes on a post-it note. It gets written down. When it's done, I pull the post-it note off and just throw it in the trash. There's no better feeling, let me tell you.
I love,
Maybe taking your bra off at the end of the day. That's the only thing.
But maybe the one you've got, maybe that's a compromise.
Yeah, and then, I mean, I just saw it today. They were a little cheaper because today's like they still have the Kindle sale, but it depends on the size you get. Like I got like the 64 gigabyte. Like I wanted.
That's what I want, big.
That was gonna hold it all, you know.
I want all of it on there.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it holds all your Kindle books too, so you could read on it.
Well, here's the thing: all you got to do is download your Google Drive on there, and then you can just access. You can save stuff in your Google Drive and just access it from there.
And I did try that because I wanted to see patterns. I wanted to see if you could put patterns on there and mark them, you know, or like the chart thingy that Neil uses to make the washcloths. You know, I wanted to see if like could you color the grid, and you can. It takes a few steps, but you can do it.
It's like that knit companion.
Yeah, but with
or
the
markup.
Pen,
For
my
cross
iPad,
stitch.
I didn't have a pen. You know, so
that's my problem.
Always out of room. It's always out of room.
Well, my iPad is I watch everything on my iPad. So if I'm watching something while I'm knitting, I can't use it to chart stuff. So, and I have the small iPad, but it's like a 5 or 6 year old one, so it doesn't take the newer apps.
Right. Yeah.
But it's just got basic stuff
for the iPad, but it keeps disconnecting all the time. You know, you have to keep plugging it back in, and I haven't got the spoons for that.
I don't have spoons. I don't have forks. I don't have knives. I don't care anymore.
I don't have nothing.
I got nothing.
So what other knitting stuff's going on these days? I've kind of not been on Instagram much, so it's been nice. I've not been on Instagram hardly at all.
I depend on Neil for that information.
I just post and don't read. Knit Night for Boomers. Thanks, Pirate. That's what we have you for. Knit Night for Boomers. That's what we have him for.
I'm a Gen Xer, man. Don't you disrespect
Gen X.
Yeah, I'm Gen
Don't
X
even
as well.
start that.
I'm just a Gen X.
Yeah, me and Neil are on the spectrum of it.
The spectrum. I knew that.
I just look like a boomer.
Anne's back. Yay!
Am I really though?
Yay! You're
Definitely
moving.
not Gen X.
Yeah.
You are not Gen X, my dear.
Are you a millennial?
No.
No.
I think having loyalty to your quote generation is a Melanie Mac word. So I'm not really into it. Technically,
That's because you're not Gen X.
You're an old soul, Anne.
Yeah, I'm like 187. I don't get your whole like, oh, I'm a boomer. I'm this. It's us. We're the clever ones, not those other people. And I'm just like, shut up, all you.
And
anyway,
she just sounds like she's not Gen X.
No, but here's the thing. Here's the thing that's different about our generation is because no, it's true. It's the amount that technology has changed in just one generation is more than it's changed in any other time frame in the world. Like just in the 40 or 50 years, technology has gone through so many changes. So it's different than the rest of the generations.
Now, I disagree because we had the same sort of effects happen in both the 1800s, and it hit the Meiji era Japan hard. Like the entire, like the authors of that time, like seeing their sort of psychological mourning for the 400 years of Japan that was, and before it opened up, that's a trip.
But they're all dead, Anne, and they can't complain about it on the internet.
But I mean, if you think about it,
I'm special, really.
And they didn't have print.
No, I mean I do get because like if you look at it from the internet technology, we were the last generation to have a technologically free childhood
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
and technology in our teenage and adult.
No, it
young
is
adult
different.
years.
It is a
You
different
know.
shift, but it's
That
Well-
and our parents gave zero cares about us, and the TV had to tell them to make sure we were home at 10 o'clock at night.
Every time 11. Yeah.
No,
And no
it
one
wasn't the TV. It wasn't the TV for us. It was when the lights went on.
Oh,
when the
no.
lights-
I remember the TV commercial, and my mom being like,
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
no, they had
down here.
the commercial, but we had to be home. We had to come home when the lights went on.
Yeah, I had to come
That
home and
was-
watch it.
I know
That
I
was
was
the
sent
signal.
to the local shop at 5 with a little note to buy my mum's cigarettes.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
Britain's
Yeah.
weird.
No,
was
we had
fine.
that here.
You know,
Yeah, I know.
No,
and it's quite a long walk.
But-
as well.
but if you think about it-
Because I lived in
But
such
you
a
think
small
about it-
town, I just had to go to the store and say, I'm here to get Bones. And my dad's name was Bones. So I just had to go there and say, I'm here to get Bones a cigarette. And he said I could have a Slurpee. Put it on our tab, please. Like, that's how redneck we were.
Oh, Tomsky has a question, Anne.
oh about the new Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, though, I mean, our parents went from cars
Yeah.
to going to the moon
Yeah.
within 40
Don't
years,
get me on that.
50 years. You know,
We didn't go to the moon.
All right. Don't start with me.
We went to the moon.
excuse me, they went to
I
the moon.
will go get Space Boy and I will make his head explode. Explain
Neil's just
how we went
Neil's
to the
just
moon.
Neil's just jealous that his country hasn't gone to the moon.
Because we
Same.
know we can't go to the moon.
Yes, we can.
No one.
We can't go now.
That's because you don't believe in yourself. And you
No.
gave up
That's
your
right.
system metric.
No, Neil is technically correct. We cannot go now because the radiation
Not now, 'cause-
from the Van Allen belt does make it impossible to go right now. That is technically true because we made our spaceship so technologically sound. Space Boy taught me that.
My
But
dad
also-
worked on some of the.
You lost. Can you imagine getting the technology together to go to the moon and then you just happen to just lose it?
Can
Wait,
you
it's not that it's
imagine
lost.
making cathedrals like every 3 miles from each other and then being like, no, we can't do that now, though.
Yeah, Neil. No one said we lost the technology. They just didn't continue doing it.
No, the NASA
No.
have said that it's on record that they lost.
No, there is
the technology.
legitimately a
It
thing.
was on a floppy disk, and they lost it.
No, they didn't lose it. There is legitimately a legitimate clause that because we have gone so into the technology the way we are with the it's not old school technology anymore. So the radiation would affect the space shuttle and all that stuff in a different
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
and
but
we have to
it
get past
didn't in
Van Allen belt.
1969.
Because
It
they
is
their-
didn't have
technology.
cell
their
phones
tin
with
foil.
airplane
They
mode.
literally had tin foil wrapped around the spaceship. With sellotape or whatever. What do you call sellotape? I don't know what you call that.
Scotch
Scotch
tape. Yeah.
Oh,
That's another reason.
Cello
That's
tape.
another reason Gen X is the best generation is because we watched the space shuttle blow up live on TV in school, and we still had to go to lunch and recess. And
Yep. Yep, that's true.
we didn't
I
get
remember.
corn bugs.
I
We
was
didn't
married
get
and had a
safe
kid, but
spaces.
yeah.
Thank you, Senko. Senko's with me. She's a moon
Yeah, they didn't
landing.
have microchips in 1969 because computers were the size of a room back
Just
then.
Don't make me go get Space Boy because he'll embarrass himself on internet.
My
This-
dad-
I explain it.
My dad worked on some of the technology for the moon program, so I know it's true.
So,
Chicken lady. You haven't
legitimately,
walked
I've
into a
been waiting an
moonwalk,
hour
that's
to talk
for
about
sure.
my shawl.
Come
So
on,
can I
Ann,
go
go
ahead?
ahead.
Okay. Well, Chicken Lady's here, so go for it.
We've been waiting.
know. Anyways, hello.
Hello.
So my shawl.
Make her big, Liz. Make her big.
You don't have to make me big because it's the same
Yeah.
shawl that you've
Hates
seen
it.
all the time.
No, but
But-
Whoops. Sorry. Not me.
She hates it. Do it.
no.
Are we all getting a turn?
There we
There,
go.
much better.
Finally. Okay, so, but here's the thing, though. You've made me big, and that's kind of defeats the purpose because
Oh.
it's a question thing. It's not necessarily.
Well,
a,
I can't see it unless you do the question. So keep talking.
Well, okay, so here's the thing with my shawl, right? So I'm at the belt portion of the isom thing,
Mhm.
right? Okay, we got the top, got that, got the belt.
Uh-huh.
All right. So after looking really closely at a lot of the photos, all right, so there'll be the cross section right here in the middle, and then there'll be 2 lines either side. But okay, so a lot of the Isom costume things are different. You can take me off full screen.
Well, you said they all have different variations on the belt, so you were trying to figure
They
out.
They do. The cross itself
See, I
is
watched
different a
this
lot of the times. Oh, Liz is gone. What happened?
Oh, shoot, we lost her from her.
Oh.
Lost her completely.
There I
Come
am.
back, Liz. There we go.
Tomsky said I was making it all about me, so I left for a while.
Never.
Just sit in your discomfort.
That's right.
No. Tomsky, I'm making it all about me. My internet's so poor. I'm here. I gotta take the most of my opportunity. But anyways, so so the issue is, all right, is that so normally in your if you're making a triangle shawl and you're increasing 4 times, do a little ram's horns thing, if you're doing it 4 times to create your triangle, right?
Right.
Right. So for my center portion, I moved that so it wasn't quite the center. It was on either side of the middle section, right?
Okay.
Okay.
So I am now coming down to the belt portion. And at the belt portion here, okay, so I'm going to have the cross and then there's going to be 2 side stripes. All right. In the photos done by the original concept artist Marcos and Kanan, who does the continuity pictures, there are stripes on the belt the whole way around.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm only going to do Intarsia ones for the main cross and the one side because more Intarsia is a mess. Not going to do that. But I'm going to put I-cord stripes in the rest of the way down the shawl, which will also add a little bit of texture, which will be good. The problem is that I have that increase in the middle. So I think if I do an I-cord stripe in every 20 stitch increment, the problem will be is that I'm still going to be increasing on one side,
But not the other.
Yeah, so I'm going to have a stripe here and a stripe here, which is not necessarily bad, but that's...
Do you need to do that increase on that particular part?
Isn't it big enough that you don't need to keep increasing?
Oh, it's plenty big enough, but the shape won't.
Yeah, okay. So couldn't you just not increase on the row with the I-cord? Just not increase on those rows?
The I-cord is upwards, so it's going to be like a 20 like...
Oh, so it's a vertical I-cord. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's going to be a vertical I-cord.
And you're trying
I think, okay.
Go there?
Right.
So can you move your increases out slightly?
Well, there's no way to add out. It will be between one stripe somewhere because there's going to be stripe all the way down each side.
I think you made it too complicated now.
I'm sitting here feeling really dumb right now.
Like I had it, and then she started doing math.
Okay. Here.
Okay,
here's my original picture.
That's what I'm saying. The math thing. That's
she
when
lost
she
me on
lost
math.
me. Math.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got
But
these guys in the center. There we go.
So we can see.
All right, so we got those guys in the center, and then we have these stripes are going to go up the rest.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
So they're kind of like angled stripes.
You could have just said that and not do the math thing.
Right, they're going to have to be angled stripes because of the shape.
Right. So isn't
But
it a
I'm
matter
just-
of
Yeah.
And your increases are right on that center line where the cross is.
Yeah, the increase, I'm going to move it out, so it's going to be about there. But
Right.
yeah, that I'm moving it over.
No, Elle, this is Ann math. This is not the new math.
And math. It's nobody else is in math.
And my handwriting, I write everything out by hand. But we have,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so that
So
that
is
is
the
my
issue
issue.
that the two that are on either side of the cross are going to be straight up and down, whereas all the others are going to be angled? Is that
Right.
part of your issue?
Right.
Well, If it were me, I would just knit it and then I would go back and top stitch the stripes on.
Yeah, I mean, how big, how wide are these stitches we talking?
Not on a garter, though.
Oh yeah, it's garter.
Yeah.
No, I mean like a
And all of
like
them-
crochet. I mean like crochet top stitch.
Then they would stand out like a ridge.
Yeah,
But yeah,
And
that's
you're
that's
doing them
me
all
because-
with eye
finish
cords,
the
are you?
shawl.
that's
Yeah,
me because I would do it
have
the
a
easiest way
method.
possible. So
Here, go ahead, take me off. I can grab my piece of fabric.
whoops. I don't know why it keeps putting me up there.
Yeah, see, that's
Weird.
entirely too much math and entirely too much.
No, I would take the easy way out and just crochet top stitch whatever stripes I needed
I
and
wouldn't
call it
be
a
making
day.
in
But
the
that
first place, so I got no business giving her any advice.
No, I know what she means because have you seen how she's done the crops with the
Yeah.
eye cord?
Yeah.
I think
Yes.
she wants to have the stripes like the eye
Right.
cord, so I can see why.
well, Anne is going to have to create new knit math then because
Just bend some numbers, you know?
Numbers with Anne. Reading rainbow.
The more you know.
We definitely didn't
Cle-
have that.
clearly Anne needs to speak to the Rippaverse people and have them when they're designing these costumes run them by her first for the knitting
Yeah.
viability before they put them into
Right.
production.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't
Yes.
quite be as presumptuous as that. I'd be mighty presumptuous, but I'm not quite that presumptuous. But the actual an intarsia vertical I cord is not as hard as you think it is. So we got that going for us. And yeah, so yeah, so that's, I mean, nothing neat as
I'm
far.
sorry. I wish I knew how to help you, Anne, because all I would do is crochet the pieces and sew them on later if I couldn't top
That
stitch them.
sounds like a Neil problem.
Yeah,
Well-
it sounds like a Neil math problem.
Just don't ask me to count.
Well, I think it's gonna work, but I think I'm just gonna have to deal with the sideways stripes. But it's like if anyone else had any
Can I
Inspiration.
propose, and I know you probably don't want to do this, but a for dummies version and then an Anne version?
yeah.
Because,
Dummies.
Because in theory, you're making this so people will buy the pattern, correct? And to make the project?
Well, I'm hopefully it will be in block.
So I'm
So-
just saying, if it's super hard, you might want a for dummies version, just for people like me.
I don't know that it really is that hard though.
Yeah, it sounds
No, I don't think it's going to be hard
Slow it
to
down a
follow
little
the
bit.
pattern.
Oh,
I think
I'm
it's
sorry,
the-
Anne.
Or be like
I'm-
extremely ridiculously precise with your words.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
I have-
spell it out.
I have
like
a
a
hard time-
5-year-old.
I have a hard time with geometry, so I have a hard time visualizing how to make things work that way. So
I have a hard
I wish
time
I could
counting
help you.
past 20, so I need, really clear directions. So
The one
And
good
count to
thing about
12.
having. Sorry, what's that, Therese?
So she can count to 12.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
5,
9,
6,
10,
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
12.
Go on.
Sorry.
Another Gen X moment.
Go ahead, Neil. Sorry.
Neil, what were you going to say?
I was gonna say. So I think I'm missing one part of the problem. But if you do the increases on the outside of the cross, that will definitely keep your cross straight and isn't going to affect the crossbar of it. Whereas if you do
Yeah.
any increases, it's going to make it go like that, isn't it? And you want it like that.
Yeah,
So
you
that-
don't want to.
So,
And
but what I
also
don't go on.
no, because the two lines on either side of the cross, I would say, are the most important to keep straight. If the rest of them are sideways, then that's just going to have to be a wraparound belt issue.
Do they need to be straight though, or can they not just be like that? So as long as the cross is like that, can those not?
I
be
would
like
say
that?
at least the main two have to be straight.
You think? See, I think that's going to stand out rather than the others.
And
You
that
know,
sounds
'cause-
very homophobic of you. You need to correct that.
Well, here I have
But I'm trying to envision how she's increasing in a triangle and keeping things straight. So I'm totally confused.
I need some BC powders at this point.
I got lost after the math, but
Mm-hmm.
All right.
See, if I make a shawl like that, I start on the big end and then go down usually. So.
But the thing is, though, Anne, you don't have to completely copy the original design, because if you think about it, you're making a shawl anyway, so it's not.
Well,
exactly
I am making a shawl anyways, but a lot of the belts do not have the extra stripes at all.
Right.
They just have the two.
Have to.
Just have the two on either side.
Right.
Well, then I'd say
they're the most important, and they're the ones that should definitely be in gold.
Fair enough.
The rest of the stripes are just.
What if you just did the cross and the two stripes?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
But that was the issue with, because it wouldn't just quite be right. That's the dealio.
Because Anne would look at it every time and say it needs the other stripes.
Because
remember, it's inspired by. It's not an exact copy of.
That is
true.
True.
It's your artistic license with their art.
Indeed. But anyways, they don't.
I mean, Anne,
yes,
you took the Harry Potter and turned it into the Trump wanted poster.
Yes.
Exactly.
So you can change things around a little bit to make it more you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. You know.
Yeah.
And she's gone.
But she doesn't want to, so, and we know her, so she will work them out to figure this out.
In the comic, are the stripes supposed to be like belt loops? Is that what they're supposed to be? Or is it just within the fabric?
Okay, none of these are it. There's a promo poster that they have in which they weren't belt loops, but they kind of mimicked belt loops in that way. That they were orange and they were a part of the belt. And because on a rare occasion, the other loops are yellow, not orange. But on the one poster, it was orange, so it's kind of like I have to choose which one I go with. But like I said, the Isom is drawn by a lot of different people. But when he is drawn by Marcos, who did the original concept artist, and Kanan, who does the art continuity, he is drawn with more belt loops. For lack of
I would say consider yourself one of the artists. And
I was going to say that too.
So you can change it however you want to.
Right.
Because it is, like Amy said, it is only inspired by it. So.
That is true. That is true.
You want us to get Carol to message
Yeah.
say it's fine, calm down.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean.
And also, I would make sure the shawl, that whatever you do adds to the shawl, balances on the shawl, and isn't just because it's on the cartoon, the original drawing.
Mm-hmm.
Make it fit the shawl.
Make the shawl look good, yeah. Because people won't necessarily even know what Isom is when they make that shawl if they like that design.
Right.
So it doesn't really matter to most knitters. It's only going to be people who like Isom that are going to care.
Right. And people who like Isom will go, "Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Cool."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this like knitting therapy? We should have little things saying.
Does that make you feel any better, and are you even more distraught than you were before?
I think she's frozen again.
She's distraught.
She's so distraught. She's frozen.
All the big math is ruining her internet.
Yeah, if we're going to knitting, I'm going to Neil.
I would just go with an image of it because it's your interpretation.
Right.
It's Anne's interpretation of Isom. Like if the different artists are doing things different each time, then she shouldn't be pigeonholed into just one way.
Which I think is pretty cool. I mean, I've only read like the first issue. I haven't really kept up with it all, but that's pretty cool that different artists are drawing it, to give
Yeah.
it a little
And
different
think
flavor.
about this. How many of us have ever knit or crocheted a pattern as is without making some kind of change to it?
Yeah, exactly.
So
Early on.
it's the same. It's the same
Way
thing.
early on. This is my favorite
Yeah,
baby
but I mean-
pattern, and I still don't do it the way she said.
And I bet
So
a lot of
hopefully we
people
helped
who
her.
knit and shawl,
Uh-huh.
they might miss all of that off, or if they're Christians, they might want to put the cross on, or if they're not, they probably won't. So
Yeah,
people might not even knit that bit.
true,
It needs to be there as an option, but
true.
So,
True.
yes, I saw all the controversy about that other superhero / sci-fi Doctor Who mess.
I gave up.
haven't
people
watched
don't-
it.
Who is dead?
I haven't watched it. I just read the interview from the star complaining that people don't like it because of racism, and maybe they don't like it because the stories suck. I'm just saying, like, people will watch any kind of Doctor, no matter who he is, if it's good
Right.
storytelling.
Right.
Well,
But
I
they
think the
just
reason
went
why
so
people don't
far
like
off
it,
the rails,
yeah, it's so obviously a
Mhm.
diversity shoe-in.
Yes.
It's not helped the story along.
No. And here's my beef is because I have not watched this newest Doctor, okay? And I have not
No,
watched
I haven't.
hardly any of Jodie. And I loved her in Broadchurch, and it bothered me that
Yes.
she sucks so bad. So,
Mhm.
but I came back and I watched the remember David Tennant came back for, what was it, 3 episodes or whatever? I
Something
watched the
like
that.
first episode of which they introduced that trans character. And here's the funny part that I never understood. Like, first of all, I honestly would not have known that actor was trans. I would have thought and assumed she was a girl. Is that not the point of being
Yeah.
trans? Is that
Yeah.
not the point?
Let
Yeah.
that character, let the story evolve, and then
Like,
have a
you couldn't-
reveal
exactly.
after a
like,
year.
The story itself
know.
was kind of cool because
Well-
Donna came back, and that was kind of cool. None of that virtue signaling had to happen. It still would have been a cool story, and if you really want to touch on that later, because the trans part of the story had nothing to do with the story.
I
Well,
don't
the
know why that
showrunner,
hasn't
It had nothing to do with Donna. It had nothing to do with the Doctor. It had none of that.
the showrunner is intentionally making it more and more progressive. He said it's more about telling progressive stories, but that's not telling Doctor Who stories. It's
Right.
if you want to tell those stories, do it with a different character.
But Doctor Who has always been fairly, especially New Who, has been fairly, progressive. Hello, Jack would do anything and everyone that breathes.
You have a
and
lesbian
Well, yeah.
couple that are lizards, and I mean,
there were
That's what I mean.
human
But it
lizards.
worked with. But it was
Nobody
part.
cared.
But it was part of the story.
It was just part
It was-
of the story. Their identity was not the story, and that's where that lost me. Was because, first of all, she would look like. I'm sorry, she was a cute girl. I would never have known she was trans. Wouldn't have cared in 1,000 years. But it made no impact to the story. The story was the Doctor and Donna were back together. Who cares what her kid is?
Well, the
that was the story.
BBC made a statement about a year ago where they said that they are no longer producing TV for people over the age of 30. So nothing they produce is for people my age, for example. They still want our money.
The BBC's got its own messed up. Like every network here, they always have to. And I don't care if it's part of the story and it's part of what made the story work. I don't care. It's just when you make it more than what the story is.
When you make it only the story, that's the problem. Because, okay, let's go back to the lizard. And what was her name? I forgot what her name was. The lesbian lizard, and one was a human, and one was a lizard. Nobody cared. The only time it ever came up,
I cared. I thought it was lame.
It was lame. But
it
the
is
only
lame.
time
But
it came up,
we weren't all up in arms about it.
no. But the only time it came up was when it came up in relation to the storyline,
right,
that they were playing. It wasn't like, "Hello, I'm a lesbian." It just was not.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, they've got a whole universe of aliens they could play with to put forward their agenda without it being obvious. Sometimes when you just put a hint there,
Right.
it means more. Because you
I mean,
Well-
think different types of people can read into
one of
it.
the best episodes was the John Smith episodes, which had a huge lesson on racism and why, Martha was pissed that they dared to not recognize that she could be a doctor because, hello, in the time that it was set in, she would not have been a doctor, but that was a nice, simple, delicate
Well, that's the
lesson.
thing. If it's telling a Doctor Who story, then I don't care. But when it's becoming
Right.
more important than the actual story,
Right.
then it turns me off. It's like you're just trying to push a certain mindset and not good, media.
Right.
Oh, the actor,
And that's when I have a problem with it.
yeah, he said that it was never made for straight white men, which is laughable because it was made
Excuse me?
in
It was a children's show.
Children's show is what it was made for.
Pretty
And
wasn't like
why-
almost ever.
Why do you care who you are? Shouldn't you want more viewers? So are you just going to eliminate your viewership? Because most of the people I know watch Doctor Who are straight white guys.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I just don't understand the whole let's just push something without making good. Like if you want to push a viewpoint, as long as you're doing it in a way that's good storytelling and it's entertaining,
right.
fine. But
I
when
mean,
you
let's
make
be
that more
fair,
important, look,
Matt
you make that
Smith
more
kinda
important.
Sucked. So
They did, but he was so adorable that you kind of, it was Matt Smith, so you just kind of let it go. But-
Matt Smith.
But yeah, but it's when you start sacrificing the integrity of what you're making just to make a viewpoint that turns people off because they don't want to spend their time watching it. Because what's the point?
Oh,
I
You
mean,
know.
Neil, did you watch any of the new episodes with this new
No,
guy?
I only watched the one with forgotten his name. You know where he came back and then
David
they split
Tennant?
him in half. Yeah.
Evidently, there's a
was.
pro-abortion episode.
What?
I'm glad I
Oh, is
didn't
that
do that.
in the new ones?
That's what I read in the article when that was one of the things that have turned people off.
I saw Ed
'Cause-
was doing a thing about it, but I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet either.
Because that'll be funny.
It always is.
But it's everyone's trying to point a viewpoint without having the good storytelling. And
Right. I mean, to be fair, a lot of Matt Smith stories sucked because to me, it started to fall apart when they came up with the 13th Doctor. Like,
yeah, because that totally went against.
fell apart when they lost the canon. But then Jodie came in, and the first couple episodes weren't bad, but man,
I didn't see any of hers.
Some of the sidekicks were terrible, and then
I
some
didn't watch any of her.
aliens.
I didn't
were
watch any of
terrible.
hers. I
And-
finished halfway through Capaldi. I was like, I can't.
Yeah,
Well,
I stopped
Capaldi
after
was
one
good,
He did
but
not.
he was so. He didn't seem to be enjoying himself. You know what I mean? He did not seem
did.
happy to be the Doctor.
I think he did, and that's what made me mad was because he had some of the most amazing episode he did was the one where he was trapped because I hated the Clara storyline, but the
yeah.
one where he was trapped by himself, and the whole episode is just him trapped in that castle, and it's a huge ethical, moral lesson of internal struggle. That was some of the finest acting I've ever seen, and he did amazing. But then it all went to crap with the Clara.
My gripe's not with Capaldi, the actor, because he's amazing. It's with the,
and that's what sucks.
Yeah.
it's the Clara thing. That went on way too long.
Storyline because we just barely touched on the whole fact that he was in the Pompeii episode with David Tennant. We just kind of barely touched on it. They could have
Which is-
totally
Yeah.
expanded that. And then he has the lore of the same thing with David Tennant is that he grew up a Doctor Who fan. He was president of like the fan club or whatever. They could have really expanded on this and made this. The guitar episodes were really cool. I will say those were fun episodes.
It just seemed to me though that it was just like draining on him. Like he was
because the
dragging. He was dragging everything with him. Like it was all depending on him because the writing was bad. It was almost like he was having to carry it.
Well, the writing sucked, and they made him an angry Doctor.
Yeah, and the Doctor. Yeah,
You need to see Capaldi in the thick of it, and then you'll understand why I could never see him as Doctor Who. because he's
Oh,
the most
okay.
foul-mouthed, nasty guy ever, and he
Oh.
plays
I saw him in
like
the.
a spin doctor for a, in a political party. And
I saw him in the
every
Three
other word is
Musketeers.
Yes.
After you see him as, it's hard to see him as Doctor Who after you see him
The
as Cardinal Richelieu.
Musketeers. Oh,
Yeah,
He was in a very early
That-
series
that
of
show
Prime
was so
Suspect
good.
as a transvestite
It was.
as well, so I can't take him serious for that either.
Well, you know how it is.
I don't
You
know.
only have 3 sets and 12 actors, so I mean, you got to.
yeah, they're in everything. Yeah, it's like, why would you intentionally alienate viewers? Like, you have a fan base. You know they're going to watch your product, but instead of trying to build off that and build more, you're like, we're going to go against that and try to bring in new viewers who want something else, and
Yes,
say to
that's
heck with all our current viewers. Like, I don't understand the financial mentality of that.
I mean, I used
And
Well,
to.
part
what
of
they're
it's-
trying to do, they're trying to think ahead, and they're trying to get these youngsters that are all into trans stuff and all that
Mhm.
now,
Mhm.
and they're going to be their viewers of the future. That
Because-
the people of our generation,
yeah, but
we're
do they
out.
realize how
Well,
fickle these people are?
Well, it's like when Marvel was doing all these more recent comic books, and they were getting all these celebrity, people writing them who had no idea how to write a comic book, and then they just totally tanked because nobody was buying and reading them because they were just ridiculous. And it's like,
But the thing,
I get trying to bring in more viewers, but you have to do it in a way that keeps your
You do.
existing
And
viewers.
the thing about Doctor Who is one thing that's always bothered me is a lot of the storylines had to do with the underdog, the outcast,
Mhm.
the nerd, the one that nobody
Mm-hmm.
paid attention to. So,
Right.
hello, if you really are truly trying to make trans more palatable, like I said, you could have just left the girl as she was. It would have been like, oh, she's trans. Didn't even know. Didn't even cross my mind. She's a
but-
fully developed character on her own, and being trans
Yeah.
is not her identity. Because
Yeah,
that's how
see,
all
that's
the
my
other
problem.
characters were. All the other characters that were weird or nuanced or left out or rejects, you came to love them for their character and their personality, not because of their defining, immutable characteristics that you can't change. So you could discuss trans here or there, what your opinions on that are, but it could have just been a really good character who just so happened to be trans.
Or, like you said, don't mention it at all.
Because I kind of thought that was the whole point, was for you to not.
Well,
You're
if you
supposed
Not
to
now, though, is it?
pass. You're supposed to pass as
But that's
Whatever.
that's the old way of thinking now.
Oh,
The
I'm
new
such a
way of
Gen
thinking
Okay.
is to annoy as
Sorry.
many people as possible with it.
Such a Gen X.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm all about the storytelling because, there's
Because-
so many things that you could spend your time watching. So why
Because
would
she
you want to
actually was a
watch
good little
something?
actress. I mean, she actually was a good little actress. The little furry thing, he was cute. It could have been a really good story just based on that, but they threw in the trans crap to where it was in your face.
and the pronouns as well.
And the pronouns.
Yeah.
Hello, the freaking hello. Come on.
Yeah. Let's hear Az talk about pronouns. Yeah, it's like,
I'm like, he's a furry alien who talks. I don't think it matters what his pronouns are.
yeah, I don't think that's a thing, but like, I get that they're trying to welcome people in, but they're not going about it the way.
Well, that's cool. Welcome them in. Cool. You're fine. You're welcome. But it's not. My sexuality is not my entire identity, and it shouldn't.
No.
be
It's not.
No, and here's the thing.
Shocker.
Here's the
Should
thing.
be.
When it's just like in the last 10 years that we have to know who everybody sleeps with or who they want to sleep with. It used to be nobody cared. Like actors and actresses, they did. That was their business. You didn't need to know if a football player who they slept with because it didn't matter about them playing football. It's like if you're not having sex on the football field, I don't care who you sleep with.
Ooh, can
I
we
have
rant
to-
about football now? Can me and Therese rant about football?
Oh, can I just
Sure.
say one thing about omnisexuals first, and then I had a big row with this girl who claimed to be an omnisexual.
What's an omni?
that?
First of all, I'm old. I don't know what an omnisexual
Well,
is.
she didn't understand it, so I had to explain to her that omni is a prefix that goes before a word meaning all.
Oh.
Yeah, like
Yes.
omnipotent.
Yeah, omnipresent and all that. How you would describe God and all that.
Right. correct.
So basically, it means, as I understand it, that this girl, would sleep with anybody
Anything.
because anything,
Oh.
not just anybody. So even she'd sleep with an inanimate object.
She's Captain Jack.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes, because he's omnisexual. He is
yes.
omnisexual.
He'll do
just say
anything.
that. Yeah, but she wouldn't have it, and she didn't understand. It's like, so I said to her, well, if what you really are is bisexual, call yourself bisexual. Don't say you're omnisexual, because that includes PDF
Everything.
files, if you know what I mean.
Mm.
Because it does.
Yes.
It includes dead bodies. It includes animals. It includes
That's
everything.
necrophilia.
Yeah. But
That-
Yeah, but it's
omnisexual
a
encompasses it all.
subsection. It's a subreddit of Omni.
I forgot. Let's hold on football. Hold on. We got to hold on football.
Go on.
Okay.
Did you see that Peacock is going to do a documentary called Queer Planet?
The Queer Planet. Yes, with the gay animals.
I have begged my friend. He refuses to watch it with me. I'm like, you have a zoology degree. Come on, this would be so much fun. I said, I won't even record you. I just want to see your face watching it. He's like, no, it's going to make me mad. I'm like, I know. That's why I want to watch it. Because I want to watch it with you and discuss it.
Yeah. It's a funny one, isn't it? Because
Queer.
it's like, why does it matter? Why does it matter if a
Well,
dog?
here's why it matters.
Okay.
Here's why it matters. Here's my prediction.
Well,
Let's get this on the internet now. This is the predictive
Animals.
programming. This is the predictive programming to make it okay for bestiality. I said it.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Mark it down.
God.
I agree. I
Mark it
agree.
down.
You're right. It is, isn't it?
Because it's like the
There
one
are-
one
and I
world
asked-
order, one
asked him.
sex, one everything.
There are a few animals who are
Thanks.
truly asexual, and there are a few animals who, for instance, will engage in what we would call homosexual activity, which can't because they're not humans, but they engage in homosexual activity in order to obtain dominance over the other animal to establish control.
They're
There are
like
also
prison. Yeah.
There are also circumstances where, say, and I'm just going to throw an animal out there because I forgot what he said, but just seals, that the seals will all cuddle together to stay warm. That's not gay seal sex, people.
Yeah, the most you can call that is homosocial,
I know.
which is means being social with the
Yeah.
same,
So there are
Yeah,
a teeny, tiny, itty bit few instances in zoology and animals of which
bonobos. They do it.
And
But
there
they're
is-
primates.
there's a fish that changes. There is a fish that can change its gender. I forgot why it happens. He told me. I stopped listening. I got bored. But there are a few things that exist. My theory is it's because they want to normalize bestiality. I'm just going
I
Yep.
think you're right.
I agree.
think
I
you're
agree.
go ahead and say it. Y'all can make fun of me. Y'all can talk in the comments. Y'all can come at me.
No,
That's
I
all.
agree.
I agree.
The y'all,
Yeah,
the y'all,
I
agree.
you know.
Yeah, there'll be
Yeah,
flags
it's
for the
just-
fish soon. You watch. There'll
It's
be
just
a
like the
pride flag for gay
maps
fish.
thing.
I'm just saying.
Mm.
They expand stuff so that they
It's
can
going to go in the
start
plus
adding-
of the LGBTQA plus.
At some point, it
Yeah.
almost has to.
Yeah, you're going to have a Venn diagram where it's all
Well, if you think
Ugh.
about it, if you're a what do they call them? Not a demonstrator. If you're a campaigner or there's a word for it, I can't think what they call them. People who are always militant. If you're militant, and now gay rights are there now, they're going for the trans rights. Once that's been done and they've got whatever rights.
what
they want,
next?
then it's the PDF files.
Hey, so
Then
maybe,
what then? Then it's the bestiality. So I think you're
maybe
right.
that'll be what stops all this nonsense. Because PETA will say, no, can't do that.
Maybe.
But then it'll be
Probably not.
bestiality pedo.
They'll get paid off. Don't worry.
baby animals.
Because
They'll get paid off.
We're already blurring the lines of consent because we know children can't consent, but we're saying kids can consent to some things, but not everything. But we know for sure 110% that animals cannot consent.
Cannot consent.
So,
Well,
they
I
argue
just-
that the animals can't be eaten.
but you can.
I'm just we're not going to say it so we don't get in trouble, but just
Well, there've been a lot more in the news where they've caught people with videos of themselves with animals,
I know.
like that guy in
I've seen it,
Utah
yeah.
There
who
was a guy,
was.
New
Yeah.
Orleans Police Department horses. Yeah. No.
In Germany, this is sick. They actually have animal brothels.
Oh,
Wait, what?
It's horrific.
It's called a barn?
no.
Like,
He did
I
say
read
barn.
about it in
wait,
some. I don't know what they call it, but it's a brothel.
brothel with animals?
Yeah, with dogs.
That's a
And
barn.
it was like really upsetting when you read about it because it's like
Well,
I don't know. Don't want to think about it really.
No,
yeah,
let's not.
let's.
No, let's not. But that is my
Hey, how about
theory.
them Orioles?
That is my theory why they came up with that documentary. So.
Anyway,
Now
about
we can-
football.
Now we can rant about
Oh, that was
Harrison
baseball.
Butker
Yeah.
and piss off the feminists.
This is where I'm completely lost. No idea what's going on.
How did you miss all that?
And this is a Doctor Who lizard. And we've come full circle.
Yes. Kind of the same. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, Liz,
but-
where's your microphone? I can hear every breath you make.
It's
It
like
sounds
a
like
police
someone's
song up
doing a
in here.
dirty phone call.
How's that better?
That's a different
Sorry.
I
episode.
think so, yeah.
Yeah. Let's get away from the animal
Yeah, we're done with
hanky
the
panky because
but
we
that's my
yeah.
theory. I'm sticking with it.
Yeah.
Here's football players having hanky panky. That's
There's plenty of
going
that.
on all over.
Yeah, so you haven't
don't
heard,
know.
Neil, how all American women are pissed at that guy's graduation speech? You haven't heard about that?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't met any who are, but that's just me.
Well, me neither, but
Why? What did he say?
Yeah.
What's the abridged version?
Oh, he had a traditional speech at a Catholic college.
Okay,
Talked
so
about
obviously,
traditional values.
Okay, wait. Real Catholic. He's a real Catholic, not a Biden Pelosi Catholic. So actual Catholic values.
He dared to tell the women that while you are proud of your accomplishment, and I know you're looking forward to your titles and your promotions and the things that are going to come, I suspect that many of you are going to be proud. Your proudest moment will be being a wife and a mother.
oh my God.
Everyone seems
Yeah.
to be forgetting that he also, in the same speech, said, and men, it is time
Fathers.
for you to stop farting around, basically. And we have to deal with the fact that the fatherless society
Yeah.
is causing damage, and you men need to stand up and be husbands and fathers. Apparently, everybody didn't hear that part of the speech.
Well, no, of course not.
They only heard the get in the kitchen and make me a sandwich part.
Which he didn't say. He just pointed out how his wife, that, she
Right.
came into her own when she became a mother.
Right.
And,
Oh,
yeah, you're a different person after you have children.
Why
You
don't
do,
they
you're-
sort of get that very basic principle that unless women have children, there's not going to be much of anything going on in the future.
True.
If they all get a job and keep
Well,
having
no,
abortions,
because
there'll be nothing.
trans women can have children.
You still need a uterus.
Okay, now I'm going to need the headache medicine if we go down that route.
I know.
No, I did not get to watch it today, but
No.
I think Carrie was going to do the episode about this topic. So I didn't
Yeah,
get to
it was
watch
good.
today.
It was very
It
good.
was good. I was hoping it would be
Mhm.
good.
Who did it? Caro.
Yeah.
Who did it?
Carrie.
Carrie Smith.
Oh, Kerry. Sorry, I thought you said Caro then. Yeah.
No, Carrie.
No.
Yeah, I
Carrie
just
Smith Garcia.
Now, I
what,
will-
what does
I
why
will-
does society need to know everything about everybody's personal lives?
Right.
Like,
Right.
I don't
It's
think that
the
you
15
having a
minute
boyfriend
thing.
or girlfriend has anything to do with you being a good sports person. Like,
Right.
it's like they all have. Why do people have to announce it? Like, why do they have to make these major announcements? Just date who you date, and people will figure it out.
And the reason it's becoming so much a big deal now is it's a double standard. I mean, the NFL has, at the same time that they are railing over Harrison Butker and saying that he's saying horrible things. This is the same NFL that has players who are having their 15th child with the 7th woman, who have beat their women, have gone to jail for beating their women, who have killed people.
I just have 2 words. Ray Lewis. They're going
Thank
to put
you.
that in the Hall of Fame. They got a big old statue out in
Tyreek
front
Hill.
of the Raven's Nest, whatever it's called.
Right.
The guy's a murderer.
We're going to sit here and celebrate
Nothing to see
Tyreek
here.
Hill having his
Mhm.
10th kid in 3
Yeah.
years.
Oh, did you
He's
see
cool.
that?
Yeah.
Like 5 baby mamas.
5 big mamas, 10 kids or 11 kids. I can't remember which one.
I thought it was
Something like that.
up there. It's up there. It's
But
It was
he-
10 or 11. Yeah.
but he's no big deal. But Harrison Butker dares to get teary-eyed
Mhm.
about how much he loves his wife and how great a mother and wife
Wow,
she is.
what an asshole.
Oh, that's a horrible.
He loves his wife.
Well, it's the same people who were perfectly happy to go after Tebow for taking a knee
Right.
because,
Right.
you know,
Mhm.
God forbid you take a knee
And
for
now they
God.
all take a knee. They all kneel
Right.
down and pray, but it's okay now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right.
But yeah,
Neil's
it
like,
just
I don't know
there's
what's going on.
yeah, there's so much of that, you know, baby mama, baby daddy thing, and it's like, why would you have
Mhm.
a child with a man who's got 5 other mothers of his
gross.
children?
It's
like,
so icky.
Well,
Ugh.
and here's the other
it's
thing.
for
is
money.
I don't know
Gross.
if you didn't watch the Netflix Tom Brady roast. It is the raunchiest thing you will
Yeah.
ever watch. It is. Even I like. I'm like I can handle some stuff, but even I was like, oh, that's not appropriate. We should definitely not be saying that ever. Like it was bad.
Ooh.
I will say it was equal opportunity bad. They made fun of everybody, but
Which is how comedy should be.
that's how
or
it
roast
should be. And it's a roast,
Yeah.
and that's what a roast should be.
Yes.
But that was fine. But y'all are going to make fun of Harrison Butker for having values and traditional values. That's not okay.
And here's the thing.
That's
He
not
gave the
okay.
same speech basically a year ago at another graduation and nobody said a
Right.
word
Right. But,
at another school.
right.
And, you know, but,
Right.
but, you know, I liked the fact that the Chiefs owner's wife and daughter both came
Yeah.
out in support of him. So, you know, the Chiefs aren't going to do anything against him
No,
because
they're not.
The only
A,
problem
he's the
I
best
had with
kicker
it-
in the,
No, he's the
Yeah,
maybe
he's
second best.
Yeah, he's not. He's right.
There's
Well,
3.
I
There's
know,
3
but-
like elite
but-
ones, and he might be second.
But it's still.
there's some petition trying to get him replaced by a female kicker. I'm sorry. They just signed that,
Oh, somebody
guy-
tell the Steelers special teams, please.
Pirates' head would explode.
Therese, who won the Super Bowl. Yes, we know Pirate. We
Last
watched.
year? Yeah. Last year.
We know.
Yeah, it's
When
Yeah.
you got to the Tay-Tay concert, Tomsky?
But that's just it. Travis Kelce can go to a graduation ceremony and chug a beer and
Yeah,
talk
they-
garbage
you
and
know, they
celebrate it. But, look, I don't think they should be talking the graduation speech should be about the graduates, period.
Mhm.
So
yeah.
I can agree with that. But you know what? How many graduation speeches are lefty liberal people not talking nonsense, about?
Kansas City
Yeah.
also doxed him. Like the city of Kansas.
Right.
The city doxed him, yeah.
City doxed
Yeah, the Missouri AG is going after the city
Right.
for doing that. Yeah, okay, here's the thing, and I don't ever agree with Bill Maher mostly, though he does say the right thing sometimes, that he was
Sometimes.
one of the first ones out there saying, that going after him is wrong, because while he disagrees with him, he has a right to speak his mind, and it shouldn't affect his job.
Right.
And it's like these protesters on college campuses who complain that their free speech is being stifled. Yet they're the first ones to prevent a speaker from another
Right.
political viewpoint
Right.
from speaking on campus.
Right.
Like, you can't have it both ways,
Nope.
and then they're complaining, about, I got suspended and now I can't graduate. Well, you chose consequences
Mm-hmm.
that have, you chose actions that had consequences. When they tell you to leave, break it up. If you don't break it up, there's consequences, and you don't break it up, well, then that's on you.
And the irony is that most of these kids didn't know what the heck they were fighting for. They had no idea what they were
Yeah.
screaming.
Yeah, and someone said, if they really cared, they'd be going out trying to raise money or organize relief efforts or, trying to actually do something that would actually help the Palestinian people. But none of them are actually doing that.
No.
They're just yelling to the winds.
Right.
My son's graduation speaker, the student speaker, went off on it, and it was just really inappropriate at the time and place. And I don't think her speech was pre-approved. I think she put in a speech that wasn't, but it didn't go over all that well. So, but, all right. I think we probably ought to need to wind it down here because I'm sure
I
Neil
know you
needs
said
to
you
go
were
to
gonna try
bed.
not to go to 2 hours, and I still haven't eaten
Yeah.
Well, I don't have to get up tomorrow, so I can stay up.
Yeah, but I want to eat dinner.
We have dinner.
red beans and rice, baby. I haven't eaten it yet.
Nice.
Hey, I'm giving up sleep. You can give up dinner.
Huh?
Well,
I said, I'm giving up sleep, so you can give up dinner.
all right. But
Ugh.
yeah, so what other knitting stuff is going on there?
Ooh, what
You know,
else is
since we do need to bring up knitting every once in a while, since we seem to
Yes.
go on these other topics that people
is
criticize
called,
us for.
It is called Crazy People Night.
Crazy people night. Oh, I can plug for people to give me baby stuff.
Yes, I'm
Yes,
looking
that-
around to see what I can. Yeah, I've already trying to figure it out.
What was Neil's theory
Tell
about
us
the
what
whole
you need.
girls being
sorry.
born and boys? Remember we said this because I told y'all that we had a whole mess of boys being born. Now we had a whole mess of girls being born. I have no girl.
now you believe me.
So what was your theory again? I forgot what your theory was.
It's not my theory. It's what's been recorded. So when there's any sort of big war or loads of men go off and die, then that year loads of boys will be born.
Yeah, to replace them.
Yeah, it's almost
Okay,
like
but-
the universe is kind of compensating.
Okay, but all these babies born thus far this year were conceived in 23. So
I don't know. Well, why have
Yeah,
more
but isn't
girls
that-
died? Is that why more girls are being born for any reason?
because like for most of 23 it was a lot of boy babies, but
Okay.
so far in 24 it's been a
It's
lot
all
of girl
girls.
Well,
It's
maybe
'cause
that's
they're
how
worried
it goes
about-
every year. You know, maybe it's just balanced.
babies. I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to track
I don't know.
this.
It's like El Nino and El Nino.
You need to ask your God. You need to say, "Come on, God, why? What is this? Why are we having all these boys and girls being born?"
I mean, I can't.
He'll
do
be
anything
like,
with this.
Are you serious?
I can't.
I don't have
anything
anything
with
else
this
to worry about.
information because it's HIPAA information, so I can't do anything with it. But I can see how many of what genders are being born. So
What do you need, Amy?
I need big baby blankets. I have no girl baby blankets, so I need girl baby blankets, and I'm very, very low on boy baby blankets. And I need.
So
Okay.
just any kind, really, right? I mean,
Yeah, any kind,
because
yeah.
you'll use them.
I mean, gender neutral is the best, but I've realized people have yarn they want to use up. That's fine.
Right.
If
Gender
it's not-
neutral, rolls
Yeah.
eyes.
Back when
What?
gender neutral was
Okay.
okay. It was 'cause-
What kind of yarn do you prefer,
Oh.
so people know?
I would prefer washable yarn, but if not, just give me instructions.
Okay.
Because these women are already stressed and they don't need to be worrying about hand
Nobody
washing
needs to
garments,
be.
so,
No.
yep.
Do you have any specific specific sizes you need?
I mean, just regular baby blanket
Okay.
size, which generally is like 36 by 36, but bigger is
Like the Project Linus blankets.
yeah. I mean,
Okay.
because sometimes I don't get the notification to the babies, and I'm not mailing packages till sometimes they're 3 or 4 months old. So I've
Right,
got several
right.
blankets that are too small for me to send right now. So I have to save those for newborn. I don't need any newborn hats. I have tons
Okay.
of those, but I need 3 months and up hats because I try to give.
I could make
try to
you a
give hat for
square.
the next winter. So
I could make you a square a month and post it to you once a month, and then you'll have
that's
to
a
sew
lot
it
of money
together
though
at
for
the
you
other
to send things.
Amy, do you ever need preemie hats?
I sometimes, yeah, we've had a couple of
Okay.
preemies. Yeah,
Because I have a stack of them that I haven't sent to anywhere because I didn't know where to send them.
yeah, we have a couple
Because we moved and yeah.
But I know Patty collects for Rachel's
Okay.
gift and somebody
Yes.
else. But I definitely need blankets because hats I can kind of fudge because hats I can kind of crank out on the Addy machine if need be.
Right.
Like if I'm really low, but blankets take a lot longer. So, but if anybody needs me to pay shipping, I will help you pay shipping because Let Them Live pays the shipping to the mom. So if you need
Now,
help
what do
with
you
the
need?
need-
What do you need us to do? Like, okay, so we knit or crochet something. Do you want it washed? Do you want it tagged?
You don't have to
Do
wash
you
it.
want
don't have
it?
to tag
Like, what do you need?
as
done
long
to
as
it?
it's not, as long as it's washable, you don't have to tag.
Right.
Give me the info. So
Okay.
You
As
can put
long
it in the
as-
magazine if you want, Amy. If you write it
yeah,
up.
we probably could do another little blurb because that is
Yeah,
a
that'd be
hero
nice.
thing to do. That is a very hero thing to do is to make things
Yes.
for Let Them Live. I just can't officially
That is-
speak to Let Them Live because I'm not an official.
Oh, Tomsky's
know.
just had a brilliant idea.
Oh boy, what does he
You
say?
do not want. No. I say
What
no.
does he say? I can't see it. What do you say?
He says,
Okay.
"Have you
Yours-
thought about doing a Husbands
Oh.
of Midnight crew where
He's
they all
he's
talk about
assuming
how
they
much
know.
you want to spend
That
on-
would be
He's a-
hilarious.
He's assuming they know. I mean, really.
That is genius. Yeah, I
That
think
would
you
be
should do it.
fun. Look, I already answered. I think what was it? What I forgot what issue it was that Neil asked questions. Like, what do your husband, what does your spouse think about?
Oh, yeah.
Have I put it in yet? Oh, I
Did
have,
you?
haven't I?
You did.
You did. You
Yeah, I
did. You
did.
did.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
Because my husband was like, I don't know, but it costs too much money.
I don't. You know what? Here's the thing, and I don't. I get it. I don't lie to David about how much I spend. He doesn't
No.
ask. You know, because he knows
Exactly.
He knows. Oh, I'm sorry. What?
Exactly.
Yeah, he knows that I'm not going to. You know, we're not going to eat this week because I bought yarn. He knows
Right,
I'm not
right.
going to
Exactly.
do that.
Right.
In
right.
fact,
Exactly.
to the point, he's like, he'll tell me, buy what you want, get what you want, whether we're
And
in the grocery
also,
store,
He
whether
probably
I'm in,
doesn't
you know,
want to ask you because then you'll talk about yarn.
yeah,
And he doesn't want to talk about
Oh, is
yarn.
that enough? Hands back.
Hands back.
Yeah, my internet's real crap, guys. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Sorry.
Is it Spectrum? Because they suck.
Oh, he's saying he doesn't not about how much it costs, but so that they
how
can
has
talk about
yarn
it like
affected your life?
like an AA meeting, you know.
That would be funny because I can tell you right now, my husband would be like, "It's everywhere. Everywhere I look, there's a bag. It's in corners of the
Mhm.
room. I can't
Oh,
get
yeah.
rid of it
That's
Talk
what
to
David
him,
would say.
get him to do it. Come on, that would be
Yeah.
so funny.
Shh.
because
And
don't
then
have to do
David
it.
would say,
Tie a shirt.
he would say
Because-
he likes all the stuff that I make him, especially the socks.
yeah.
He said, there's one room in this house that's very, very well insulated.
But he'll complain because we have a little front dining room and it's too small to be a real dining room. It's very
Right.
poorly designed, and so that is what I have made the extra yarn room. And that's where I put a table up, and that's where I do all the shipping and everything for Let Them Live. And he'll complain about it, and I'm like, it's for the babies. Shut up.
Hey, the babies. Ooh.
It's for the babies.
How can I
It's everything for the
incorporate
babies,
that
even
into
when
my
you
The thing is,
Yeah.
too, they also know this is our sanity. So, you know.
Right. He goes out in the garage and he plays his guitar. So he plays his
Yeah.
bass and his guitar. That is his therapy. This is my
Yeah, and how
And
you know,
you send
exactly.
them to me, and it's my therapy. Yeah.
Exactly. How many pedals does he have out there? How many guitars does he have? Okay.
Right.
Well, you know.
When I used to go to local yarn, and there's one of my local yarn shops is closing, which is kind of sad. Even though I haven't been there for years, it's still, you know. But when I used to go to local yarn shops, he would go with me. He'd sit in there and he'd talk about, Malabrigo and this and that. I mean, so he's been paying attention, you know. And he'd have conversations with the owners, and I'm like, okay, whatever. But that's good.
Yeah, I mean,
I wouldn't want to have to hide things, and you
No.
know. I just told him, I said, well, first of all, Alyssa's going to get all of my yarn. I said, otherwise, don't let anybody fool you into how much, this yarn is, because it's way more than that.
That's my instructions from Denise. I'm literally in the will.
hey,
Yeah, Alyssa will
you
get
got to
mine.
be in the will.
Yeah.
And your mom knits, right?
Not, I mean, she does, but like, if you're counting on yarn inheritance from my mother, it's not
No,
much.
I was just wondering what your dad thinks about all this, and or what Max thinks or whatever about all the.
Oh, I think Max has suffered more than Dad has. For me, because we lived together for a while.
Right.
Well, he should be grateful because now his little one gets knit stuff,
Exactly.
and he'll be the
Mhm.
stylish. He'll be the stylish little baby in town.
Exactly.
That's
So.
true, but not to say anything, but I haven't knit a lot for that kiddo. So
And
Oh, sorry. Well, make him a little mini isom shawl.
I was gonna say that could be like your swatches. Make a
Yeah.
sweater with
Yeah,
some
I mean,
design on it.
I had an alpha core hat for him, but that one didn't totally work out. I have to redo that one. So
But that's a good way to swatch without not swatching.
that would be fun to make a little swatch, like your little squares, and then as he gets bigger, and like so by the time he's in high school, you have like this giant blanket.
Ooh, yeah.
and he'd be like, "What's with that?" Like,
You'd be like, "Shut up, kid. It's cool."
He's like, it's really cool. He's like, nah, it isn't though. And I'm like, well, I have some opinions of my own, kid. So we're gonna have a fight now.
Yeah, well, it's all about the parents at this age anyway. The kids have no
Right.
say or clue. So
Right.
they just wear what
I
that's
can-
put on them.
All I can tell you about my nephew's current opinions, besides, just generally being happy, is that he doesn't like Jean-Claude Van Damme movies. He's cool with
does?
Arnie. He's cool with Stallone, but Jean-Claude Van Damme, he's like, no, not so much.
Really?
Stallone's good.
We'll see it. We'll let him have a second opinion. You can't get enough bad.
Well,
We got to get up to the Harrison Ford movies, and then we're talking.
Right. We'll see what he thinks of that.
And I
Well, to
fully
be
trust in you
fair-
to nerd this kid out, okay? I trust you
Oh,
with
he
nerding this kid out.
doesn't need
Well,
me for that.
To be fair, Jean-Claude Van Damme was the least able to carry a movie with dialogue of any of them.
Does he
think
have
about it.
dialogue at all?
It's always cringe.
Yes.
I mean, while Arnold and Sylvester played, those characters,
They
they
weren't
were also
exactly known
not-
for their speaking abilities either, but
however, in real world, Sylvester Stallone was writing the
He is
movies, and
brilliant.
Arnold
He's
was.
brilliant.
Yeah, he wrote
Yeah.
Rocky. The only
Yeah.
reason Rocky got made because he insisted on being in it.
Mhm.
So there you go, Anne.
Speaking
Exactly.
of rocking out, I can hear him playing guitar from here.
Nice. What's he playing?
I have no idea.
Oh, maybe
Well.
some Gravity or something.
Either that or just
Sure.
really watching a movie that's really loud. Because
Yeah.
nope, that's the guitar. That's the bass. I can hear it.
All right. I'll have to get some baby yarn or some yarn to make some baby blankets.
Yeah, it doesn't.
So-
I mean, it could be cotton, acrylic, whatever. I definitely need some blankets or any people that sew. Like, I have a friend that I get her the flannel and then she just serges the edge. Like, it doesn't have to be fancy.
Phew.
It does not.
My
have to be
sewing
fancy.
machine just gave me a dirty look.
How rude of it.
What are you
Seriously.
doing over there? Ugh.
All right. Well,
I need
we
to-
said we were going to end early this week.
Oh, before
Yeah,
we
it just
go,
drags
Anne,
on.
when is Shark Week?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, officially. Since
We
it's
haven't
no,
asked.
she officially posted it, so it's okay to ask now.
I did. Well, first off, the Shreddy Shredder Challenge, of which Liz has wrong.
Yeah, finished.
Beautiful. Very lovely.
Thank you.
That goes May to June. And Shark Week is July 7th to the 14th. So technically 8 days, but it's always that way.
Okay.
So that
As is my
the time.
people.
Mm-hmm.
Let her people go
The
and
slack
make shark
asses of the world.
and make shark
Yeah.
related products during that week.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm just saying. To plug for Shark Week, I'm just
Have-
saying a baby blanket.
Have you
You
announced the
know-
theme?
So
Have you
Yeah.
announced the theme?
The theme is Raiders of the Lost Shark. So anything adventure archaeology goes along with it. When it
sold.
comes to counting points
so
for teams,
funny.
there'll be a full write up because we're going to do a point system this time. Full write up will be in
So
Block
excited for
Magazine.
Spreadsheet? Does Amy get to make you a
Yeah,
spreadsheet?
Amy, I need to talk to
Yay!
Amy later about the spreadsheet thing because yes, we're doing a real spreadsheet, but also there's a couple of things specifically that will
So I got to get like an Indiana Jones hat with like
Yeah.
shark thing. Man, I have stuff to do.
we could.
No, it's
Definitely.
not like-
I have some stuff.
This is
I
good.
have. I don't know if you want to hear the sponsors so far.
Sure.
Yes.
I mean, I think it's cool.
Very cool.
And if you do want to be a sponsor or even like a promoted vendor for this, if you have a shop and you want to sell, I mean, anyone can sell shark related stuff. I'm not the shark tariff person, but if you want us to like promote it as a part of this, get in contact with me and we can make that happen. But anyways, people who are currently sponsors for Shark Week, the lovely ladies of Midnight, first of all,
Yay.
Neil, of course,
The lovely lady of Block Magazine.
yes, Amy, of course, But we also have Shauna of Shauna Stitches, Holly of
Yay.
Mystery Mouse, Stephanie of Texas Peach,
Mhm.
Cheryl of Wise Owl Knits, Annie Stitch in Sky,
Yay.
Carrie Smith is joining us also,
Yay!
Caro, and Joanne Nevin of Mama.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, that one.
Nice.
Nice.
Mama
So,
Nevin.
and there'll be stickers, I presume.
Yes, there will be stickers. Which I'm excited. I love stickers.
I love stickers. Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to
Yeah,
get
I
that
have
all
mine. I have my sticker right here.
Mine are still in the envelope.
Yay!
I haven't put
stuck
mine on
my stickers
anything
yet.
yet.
I
have
still
not.
want the shirt, Anne, but DK needs to get them in bigger sizes.
I know. I've
Fat
Heard
girls
about
matter
that.
too, Anne. Come on.
That's right.
I'm
That
sorry.
that girl's knit too, Anne.
Oh my God, we need to make a shirt like that.
Girls knit too.
That girl's knit too. Oh God. That could go sideways real quick.
But yeah, so yeah, that's all. That's
So the
all
only
that.
parameters of Shark Week is it must be started and
Mhm.
finished. Correct.
It's
Yes.
genius.
Yes.
In that time
Yes,
frame.
you have to
Not.
declare what you are making,
Mhm.
and you have to finish it
Now,
in
are
that
there-
week.
So are
Finish
there
it or frog it.
parameters of
Yeah.
size.
So when
No.
when is the date people need to notify you what they're making?
Yeah.
It would have to be. Again, we do not do
We'll
this
figure it
now.
out first.
There's not a sign up sheet now. There's not, but
We'll work on that.
right.
Amy's so excited for a spreadsheet.
So excited.
I know, but I mean, I'd say that if you joined in midweek, you could, but like, you want to plan. You want to
But
plan.
you should
Yeah.
start planning, and like, in other words, you're fine if it's like a
Oh,
hat.
I gotta think about what I'm gonna do.
Like you're not expecting. They don't have to make an entire sweater. They don't have to make an adult
No.
size blanket. You're
I
No,
made
you
a
can do it
scarf
three-
last
Like
year.
everybody
Yeah.
chooses their own project, but I mean,
You-
it's a
you-
challenge.
you-
Make it a challenge.
You could do a 3 skein shawl like Anne did last year.
right.
I did.
I did a one.
I did a one skein,
Mhm.
but you
I
should,
think
but
it only
I
turned
agree.
out to be a 2 skein shawl in the end.
Yeah.
but it was.
But your
Yeah, mine-
boundaries are,
Mine was a little over 2 skeins. Yeah, mine did not end up to 3 skeins because I got tired of it.
Carrie Smith is not the fastest knitter, so if all she makes is a baby hat, hey,
That's fine.
That's
That
Probably
counts.
The best project
Mhm.
is
Yeah.
a murder knit shawl because you just stop when you're ready.
That's what I did last year.
That's right.
In Shark
What I
Week.
did,
Yes.
I did the French or Italian summer shawl. That's what I did last year.
Yep, that's the one you did. Yeah.
No, that was
Joe
the
will-
puritanical. No, I did something else. That was the
You did something
puritanical. It's all in black. Yeah.
Joe
Yes.
will not recommend a murder knit shawl. I'm just telling you right
yeah,
now.
I know.
She'll tell you to make something else, but make what
I
you
did
want.
a murder knit shawl in a
What I
Shark
did.
Week yarn by Molly Klein Design, and it was beautiful. So
It was so.
I
Yeah.
have some murder yarn from Chicken Lady.
Well,
so
and I have
think
my
I'm gonna
story-
use that.
And I have my Story Keeper shawl, which
Right.
the proceeds go to the USS Indianapolis Foundation.
correct.
For if anyone's watched Jaws and know the story of the sinking of the Indianapolis and the shark attacks afterwards. So there's not
Yes.
many of. I think there's only a couple of the sailors left.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
they're trying to get their stories and stuff
This
out
is
there.
called
So
blood splatter. That's what I'm going to use. I just don't know what I'm going to do.
Blood splatter. That works perfect.
yeah, I do still have some blood splatter from Chicken Lady, don't I? Somewhere.
And
So
Cherry
I'm
like-
picking
So-
fell
but that-
on
but that's-
to work for
but
it.
that's-
Oh,
but
I
that's
might
not
do
my
that
plan.
cowl. Murder knit
My
cowl
plan is
will help.
leaning. My plan's leaning towards the other end of the archaeology end of it,
That's
as
true.
opposed to the shark end of it. So.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do yet.
And also, it may so happen that tomorrow on Knitting Wars, Holly is going to come and show her Shark Week yarn.
Yay.
Ooh.
Oh, unless that is somehow delayed or anything.
that
That
never
could
happens.
happen. I'm not absolutely promising anyways, but as of right now,
No
that's
promises. There's no spreadsheet yet, people, so there's still room.
There's always time.
Once there's a spreadsheet.
Then we're
I'm just saying, if you feel like making baby stuff during that time, I wouldn't say no.
Oh, definitely.
I
That's
might
right.
do it. I might do it.
And
You
baby
never know.
stuff that is shark themed, that's adorable.
So which
question,
Ooh.
which I will say, there was a shark blanket. I will warn you again.
That is-
Putting the fin is in a dangerous spot. I'm just saying. So, but it's not like if you declare more than one thing, is that okay? You get more entries, or we haven't decided yet.
The thing is, the
I'm just
problem with I would say best practices is declaring one thing, because
Yeah.
the problem is that people will be like, I don't know. Like if you
Right.
have 2 socks, for example,
Yeah.
and you finish one sock, you're like, I didn't finish the other one. It all
Yeah.
has to go. It
Oh,
all
it all
has
has
to
to
go.
go.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
You don't. There's
I agree.
no
I
messing
agree.
around. There's no like, oh, I can half save this
No,
project. No,
I agree.
if you
I
want
agree.
stickers, you rip it out.
I
You're
was
not
saying,
playing
like, if
around.
they wanted to say, okay, I'm going to make 5 baby hats, because baby hats are short and quick.
Right.
You know, so to say
Right.
I'm going to make a baby hat is like nothing. That's like, for
Yeah.
some people, that's like an hour. So if you said, I'm going to make 5 baby hats, you have to make 5 baby hats, or
You
you
have to
got
make-
to rip out the ones you didn't finish, you know?
Right. Now, see,
I'm
last
sorry,
year I did
It's
a
all
cowl.
in the hazard if you don't finish.
Right.
I did a cowl, and then I got done like in 3 days, and I was like, well, that
Right.
doesn't seem right.
Right.
So then I did like a dissident, and
Right.
maybe 2 dissidents, like, because I didn't want to be like, oh, I'm done this in 3 days, and then that's not
now will there
right.
be points again for watching Shark Week
Oh.
related or archaeology adventure related shows while you're
You can watch.
Yes.
Yes, Indiana Jones.
there's
Not the
just not the last
not the
the
new
last
ones.
couple of them.
Talk about that
The
one. That
old
one didn't happen.
Yeah, the old
That
ones.
was-
Let's
That
after the third one.
Chris
Yeah.
is
Just
full,
your-
and after is
No more.
nothing, so.
No more.
But
No aliens.
you know,
no-
there's lots of old movies like King Solomon's Mines and all those action
Mm.
archaeological things and all the documentaries and stuff. So Time Team Marathon, that's true.
Fun.
You're right, Lefty. And there's the new Time Team is on now. They're filming again, but it's not funded by the BBC. They're actually self-funded.
Mm.
So, and they're doing all their excavations, which is kind
It's
of
gonna
cool.
be fun. Ancient aliens.
Yeah.
Oh, God. That dude.
They built the pyramid. They built the pyramids, didn't they?
They built the
At least
pyramid.
that's what they say.
You say a lot of things.
Does it count if you watch Steve Martin sing about Tutankhamun?
King Tut, yes. I have a friend on Facebook, and she lives in Alabama. We've been friends for years and years and years. We've never met, but you know how that goes.
Yeah.
And so every once in a while, she and I will post that video of King Tut from Saturday Night Live on each other's Facebook walls, just randomly.
I
It doesn't
remember
matter
when
the
I
video.
remember watching it on SNL when the first time it was on, and people were
That's the one we
dying
post. Yeah.
because it's so funny. It's
Mhm.
hilarious.
Man.
Couldn't do it now, but yeah.
I am very
His
excited
condo-
to start.
Condo
I
made
am-
a stona.
I
Yeah,
am
he's
probably
my
not
favorite
gonna do
honky.
this-
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm probably not going to do the sweaty sweater
yeah,
challenge.
yeah. Neil, does Neil know what a honky is? Do you know that slang, Neil?
A white person?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you
like
passed your
cracker.
racial slur test for today.
Made popular mainly in Sanford and Sons.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it was
Oh,
in
okay.
Starsky and Hutch as well. I think I
Probably.
Oh, Huggy Bear. Yeah.
Or Kojak
Yeah.
or
Kojak. Yeah.
Kojak.
The
Man, the
70s
Kojak.
were great.
that's what I
Those
thought
70s
America
were
was
great.
going to be like.
And was it?
Not real.
And
Well,
the Jeffersons. The Jeffersons
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. George Jefferson
Oh,
used
man.
it a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
All
and
right.
Frozen again. Now that's a good.
Oh,
remake.
no.
Oh no. All right. Well, we probably should. We've gone longer than we said we were.
All right.
So-
Wrap it up.
Because
Liz,
we
wrap
always
it up.
do. Yeah.
Yeah, because I need to eat dinner. I'm
I
hungry.
gotta
So
eat food.
I'm going to go
So,
watch a baseball
Amy's-
game. Which doesn't
Amy's
look
got red
promising
beans and
right now.
rice. Yum.
Ooh.
So, Neil, thank you for coming, even though it's late.
Thanks, Neil.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Are
for
you
having
going to
me.
be on knitting?
Sleep.
Are you losing sleep tomorrow night too for Knitting Wars?
Probably. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Am I
Well,
invited, Anne?
You
I don't
are
know.
invited, Neil.
I want to come sometime and do the crochet challenge. because I
Yeah.
haven't done that one.
Oh,
We
you
got
haven't
the
come
iron
since the
one.
crochet challenge.
No.
I haven't.
I have to
won't
get my
do it.
hooks out.
But
Did I do
Amy
it?
did it. You and Jackie.
do
Remember
mine again.
Jackie's
I
internet went
smoked
out?
it. I smoked it.
Yeah. Yeah, you smoked it. You were the head of that one.
Top of the leaderboard now.
I
Well,
think
now
she
I've
is.
got my super duper sharp hooks.
ooh, what are they from? Where are they from?
Oh, I told you about them last time I was on. You won't like them because they're inline.
Oh no,
See,
never
I
mind.
like those.
Never mind.
It depends on the yarn, honestly,
Like
and it
Susan
depends on how
Bates.
tight. Like if
Susan Bates is my jam.
Nope.
if I'm doing really tight, then I like the inline. But if I'm not, then I
Tapered.
like the others.
No, boy
Tapered.
needs to get on out of here. Boy, bye.
Tapered.
No,
I don't like boy,
no.
but I like I have the symphony ones,
I
the
like the sharp ones. It should kind of
knit
cut you.
picks or Knitter's Pride symphony ones, I think. So,
There
all
should be a
right,
risk of
thanks,
danger.
guys.
You gotta go.
That's Lace Needles. Bye, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Bye.